Back again with another video. Where's my, I'm not central on my camera. What's going on? Okay, yeah, there you go. So I got Yan to my right, and I got Kesh to my left, or I don't know which way it is on your camera, but that's what it is for me. And we're going to be talking about the Arsenal versus Man City game. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see us a little bit more clear. There you go. And first things first, how you doing, Yan? Haven't spoken to you in a while. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. And we got Kesh in the house. Kesh, what are you saying, bro, with the new hairstyle? You liking it?
It's all right. It's all right. Can't complain. I'm all right, man. I'm not too bad.
I'm not gonna lie, you coming from me, bro. I'm jealous, bro. I can't do shit with my hair right now. I need to find a way to cut it, but every time
I'd rather have an haircut though. I'd rather have a haircut, but I'd rather have an haircut though, but I can't at the moment.
Same. But yeah, I have a clip ready to go, guys. But just want to ask you guys, before we get into anything, who would have thought from where we were last time when we faced City to now that City would be champions? Was it predictable? Would you have thought we would be here so quickly, getting close to winning the title again?
Do you know?
Go on.
Now you can go first.
Listen, as I said, coming into the season, I expected City to be up there as title challengers. What caught me off guard was the way they started, and I thought, And then Liverpool came out the blocks, all running and everything. Then I thought, after the Everton game, Van Dijk's out. I was like, nah, I can't see Liverpool in the title without Van Dijk. And then what you see is not Jurgen Klopp, Pep's actually built a formidable defense that a lot of people who's doubted him over the years have said he's not capable of doing. And you're seeing it with our own eyes. Like, he's done it. Like, this is one of the best defense I've seen in the Premier League in a very, very long time. So no, it's not surprising me at all.
Yeah, and then Yan, just before we get any further, I have the clip ready to go. I'm gonna play it. What did you see the little snippet that I put on Twitter earlier? It was about a month ago. Yeah. We were here. I was talking all the smoke, and you were just being humble, being yourself, saying, you know what? I think we could do it. I don't know if we can do it, but I hope so. Right now, a lot is resting on our attack. But you know what? Let me just get to playing the clip. Let me see if I can get that. This is gonna. I've never shared screen these before, but it allows you to now share screen your actual video player. So here we go. Let's try it. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make this full screen for everybody. And here we go. What'd I do? Is it still shared?
Yeah, I can see it.
Can you hear it?
Wow, so it'd be nice to see us kind of push on and maybe get into.
It's cut out now. I can't hear it.
Let me say something. I've been really nice this whole stream, but here it goes. City's not in the title race. City's in the top 4 race. I'm sorry, Yan. It's just the truth. We know City's a good team, but they're not in the title race. They're in the top 4 race today, and until their first or second, it's safe to say they're in the top 4 race because Liverpool are just that good.
Yeah. I think Liverpool will win it. The only reason why I say that City would be in a race is because 2 results take you up to second for starters. Do you know what I mean? All
2
it takes.
results.
Liverpool play Man United. I think it's just after Christmas.
And then that's all she wrote. From there, you guys took it on and just kept running with it. And it was like Liverpool played Manchester United, Liverpool played all these other teams, and you'd expect them to drop points, but you didn't expect Manchester City to not drop any points. You guys almost have been untouchable this whole time. How many wins are you guys on now? What's the winning streak? Like 15, 16 games?
is 17 in a row, but 22 unbeaten. So 17 wins, but that's not just Prem, that's all comps. Yeah. So I don't know how many it is in the Prem actually, but all comps it's 17, I think.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, so I don't even know how I did that. I messed up the share screen. I should have put the audio so you could actually hear the actual official audio, but it wasn't working. But yeah, so let's go back to the first game when we played City. I felt hard done by that game. I thought we could have got something out of that game, if you remember. I felt like we played well. You guys got 1-0, 1 goal. Edison stood on his head. 2 clear-cut chances for us to win the game. Edison stood on his head. Absolutely stood on his head. The second game there's less to be spoken about. From based on our first 2 performances this season against you, if we take anything away, and based on the run of form you're on, a lot of people say there's no chance for us today. But what do you think?
I think there's always a chance. Like in regards to what we were saying before, like I did think at the start of the season I thought City would win the league. And then, like Kesh says, when it started and we didn't look like we were going to win the league, I was like, I'm not so sure now. But City have been a team that have been able to put on a run of wins. We've done it before on a few occasions. But yeah, I'm even surprised by how well we're doing. That being said, every run comes to an end. There's actually an interesting stat about Pep. He's had 2 similar runs at Bayern Munich, which were both ended by Arsenal. So I don't know. It will come to an end at some point. A lot of City fans thought that was going to be Everton. A lot of City fans went into that game saying, I'll take a draw. I don't think we'll win. Obviously, we did. But yeah, I think as much as on paper it looks like Arsenal have no chance or whatever, it is possible. That being said, when City are on a run like they are right now, it's hard to stop them because Everton played well against City, and you know they got the equaliser, and a lot, like I said, a lot of City fans at half time were like, "I'll take a draw," and City just came out in the second half like we did against Liverpool, and just kind of finished the game off. And I just don't know which Arsenal we're going to get. I don't know which City we're going to get. The Arsenal that turned up against Man United, I thought you were actually the better team. I know Man United had the better chances, but overall, I thought Arsenal were better than Man United in that game. And I think you were unfortunate to draw that game. So if that Arsenal turn up, you could give us a game, and who knows, you can win it. What I would say is I can't see City conceding too many goals because our defence is very strong. So I think it would have to be a 1-0 or a 2-1 or maybe a 3-2 or something like that, because I can't even see us conceding 3. So I think it will probably be like a 2-1, 1-0. But yeah, who knows? Like, it's going to end eventually. I just don't know when that'll be. So yeah.
Kesh, do you think we could be the team that could set up to take advantage of that Arteta's familiar with Man City, or do you think that means nothing at this point?
I think it means nothing at this point, but obviously, as Jan said, there's always a chance in the game. It just depends on what Arsenal turn up and whether we are clinical on the day. Because as he said, in the last game, we had a few chances here and there, and maybe if you're taking one of those, that then changes the precedence of the game. Like, because you know when a team go 1-0 up, their tails are wagging, and you think if only you can get the second one, then who knows what will happen. So it's all about the Arsenal turning up and having the right attitude and actually following the plan, whatever it is that Arteta sets them out to do. Whether that's sitting back deep and trying to soak up the pressure and then go on an attack, or whether that's actually trying to play to our strengths and nick a goal.
I just realized I didn't send Harry the link. I'm gonna go do that right now. Jan, I was gonna ask you, this form that you guys are on, do you really think that we have an opportunity? Do you really think there's anything that we could, any weakness in your team that we could exploit? Because I watch Man City a lot. I can't really see anything. I used to say your left hand side, but now that you guys have, am I wrong? Is Diaz playing on the left side of the center back pairing? So that kind of solided up that side of the pitch.
Because Laporte's a little bit more left. than Diaz. So if he's playing with Laporte, he'd probably play on the right, but I think he plays on the left normally. But yeah, I think City at the moment don't really have too many weaknesses. But what I always say is against City, set pieces, because we're quite a small team. Obviously, set pieces are, anyone can get a goal from a set piece, especially with a City team who are quite small, if we're being honest. But yeah, I think there's so many areas of quality at the moment for City, just everywhere, all over the pitch. I think obviously our sort of defense partnership were very solid in Diaz and Stones. Pep's changed it around a little bit recently, so I don't know which two will start. But obviously, if it's Laporte and Stones, or I don't know, it seems to be that Stones doesn't concede goals. So if it's anyone other than Stones, so if it's Laporte and Diaz or whatever, there's a chance you can score. But for some reason, John Stones' record is insane. I think he's conceded 3 goals all season, and he's played a whole heap of games. So yeah, I think depending on who starts, obviously there's always a chance to score. City are not. People have scored against us. Do you know what I mean? But
I think
you're gonna have to take your chances. You're gonna have to be clinical when we get on, and we're gonna have to do the same. I think. I don't think this is gonna be a big one-sided game. I think it's actually going to be quite close. Obviously, I'll give you my score prediction later, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be. There's not going to be as much in it as a lot of people think.
So you're saying there's no real weakness, so we might as well just pack up and go home? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Right now, I don't know, because against Everton, I thought Everton played quite well. They got an equaliser, and at halftime, I was thinking, I hope we win. But the second half City, I don't know what Pep says at halftime, because a lot of the time the first half is okay, the second half is just brilliant. So it's whether Arsenal get the first goal. I think if you get the first goal, that makes a massive difference, because City will have to go for the equaliser. And in that, while we're doing that, you might catch us on the counter. And then once it's 2-0, it's a lot harder. But yeah, I think you just got to be clinical to beat City right now. You will get chances. You've just
you know what I would say is I don't think they've got weakness, but I feel tomorrow's game all depends on what level we'll get from Saka. I know he's been off his game for last few games other than scoring, but if you get a scintillating Saka going up against Zinchenko, he will create chances from that side.
Yeah. Saka is on our best team no matter what. So the thing is, I don't think Saka's going to play this game. Let's be honest. We're going to probably rest him for the Benfica game. So that's advantage City. Where City, they don't really need to focus too much on the league. It's tied up. So I think they could have a situation. What was that? City could have a situation where the league is tied up and they could just focus on the Champions League. So they might not take our game serious either. But yeah, Harry, I'm going to bring you in. What do you think about this tie? Just quick thoughts, going from how we felt earlier in the season when we're facing them away from home, we thought we had a chance, to this game. Do you think we have a chance? And where do you stand? Obviously don't give your score prediction yet, but just quick synopsis on what you think about the game.
I mean, we've always got a chance, but with City, they're just on fire recently. Their results have just been ridiculous. And even when they've come a little bit tested, like you mentioned, against Everton, second half they just stepped it up a gear. So I think it's just going to be a tough game. And then if we do rotate a little bit, that might leave us even more disadvantaged. I think potentially they don't have any weak links, but maybe you can get at their fullbacks a little bit. If Kyle Walker plays, maybe it's because he played for Spurs, but I've never ever rated Kyle Walker ever. I just think he's just a get out of jail geezer because of his pace. I think he struggles when you've got a dribbler taking him on. I think he gets a little bit, his legs get almost a little bit twisted. So I think you can potentially get a Walker, but the truth is with City, if they just keep the ball, it doesn't matter, does it? You can't get it off them. So it's going to be tough, no doubt about it. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to be boring here, guys. We're not going to be boring. We're not going to do combined 11s. We're not going to do all these other things. We're not going to talk about the chances of this guy scoring, the chance of that guy scoring, the chances of this guy being that. Let's just look at the two teams and be if you were to look at the Arsenal team, Jan, who in the Arsenal team would you take at City that you feel like would actually improve your team? Because at Manchester City, I feel like there's a lot of players we could take that will improve our team. But I'm going to ask a different question to you, Kesh and Harry, in regards to this. So, Jan, who at Arsenal would you take that you think would actually improve your team in the long run?
Yeah, and don't be honest, okay? Lie to make us feel good. Don't be honest.
No, there actually is a few players that I would take. We don't have a left back, a natural left back. Zinchenko is a midfielder. Before that, Delph was a midfielder. We do have Mendy, but since his injury, he's not been the same, which can happen after an ACL. And plus, he's in and out of the team, so he's not got that consistency. So yeah, he's not really good enough at the moment. So I would take Tierney. I think Tierney is a great player. Obviously, I think under Pep he gets even better. So yeah, I definitely would take him. I do love Saka, to be honest. I don't think we necessarily need him, but I do like Saka. And then I would say, yeah, a DM. We need a replacement for Fernandinho. He's at the end of his career. A lot of people said we should have got Partey. So I would take Partey.
What about Rodri? Is he not that natural DM replacement, or is he a bit more like a holding midfielder? Really, isn't he?
I think Rodri is the reason why Gundogan is doing so well this season. The way Rodri is playing is also helping Gundogan have the freedom to go forward a lot more.
Yeah.
And a lot of people underestimate Rodri's just doing his job. He just keeps the ball ticking. He's that DM who is always in the right position. Whenever City are getting attacked, don't you realize Rodri's always in the right position? He's almost like a center back in midfield. He knows, he sniffs out danger and he gets rid of it, and he gets rid of it as soon as it starts. So he's a pest in the sense where the moment we start an attack, Rodri's just there. Like he's always there. And he's not Conte. He's not using his pace. He's not using power. He's just using his intelligence.
What I would say about Rodri is, like, Rodri has been magnificent this season. I'm not saying take Partey over Rodri. What I'm saying is if Rodri gets injured, we aren't going to have a backup next season. So I would take Partey at City. But Rodri has been unreal. I always say he's a player that basically does what it says on the tin. He is there to do a job, and he does it brilliantly. Like, if you look at his stats, they're unreal. But he's not the fancy footballer. He doesn't do things that people go, wow, I want to be Rodri when I grow up. He doesn't do that. He is literally does what he is there for. And in our system, he works perfectly. But I just felt like I would take Partey because soon we're not going to have Fernandinho.
I'm pretty sure Rodri is top of the league for most forward passes into the final third as well.
Xhaka's up there also. So.
Yeah, Xhaka said, no, that's why I said it. I know that fact because I was seeing where Xhaka was, and Xhaka was second. I was like,
Yeah,
he's like first for a whole bunch of things. Like, it's mad, but he goes under the radar because, like I said, he's not a fancy footballer. He doesn't do things that people go, wow. Like, he's just this is what it says on the tin, and in our system, he works perfectly. So I can't really credit him anymore.
The next thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to bring up the team sheets just to show you guys what we're looking at. Predicted lineups based from WhoScored.com. And Kesh, Ederson. Ederson's passing ability from the goalkeeping position and the options that he gives you in the attacking third, basically making those outlet passes. Is that the modern day goalkeeper? And do you think we can survive with Leno, and could we get back to the top with Leno as our keeper, or do we need to find ourselves somebody who has that ball playing ability?
Depends on what you need top. If you need top as in winning titles, then no. I don't think Leno is the guy that's going to get us there. I think he's good enough for the time being in terms of challenging for a top four. It's not a problem. It's not a priority to replace. But in the system and the way Arteta wants his goalkeeper to play, I don't think Leno even suits it or fits it. Sometimes he puts pressure on the back line because I just don't feel he reads the press well enough. He doesn't know the triggers of when to go long sometimes and when to go short. Yes, he's been a bit better over the course of the season because during the early parts of the season he's making a lot of mistakes, but he's still not quite at that level that we require.
Okay, so sorry, I don't know why Tierney just popped up out of nowhere. He's always in the conversation. Now, the reason why I ask about the difference between Ederson and Leno, we know their ball playing ability is completely not even on same stratosphere, where Emerson is absolutely head over heels. That's one of his best skills. He used to be an outfielder, right? And you got Leno, who his weakness is his ball playing ability and puts us under a lot of pressure. Now, Jan, how often would you say Emerson would start your attacks and literally create opportunities for you guys? Because if that's something that we could get into our game, it would obviously help us out. But how big of a difference does it make when you don't have him in the team? Because there was situations this season where he wasn't playing.
Yeah, interestingly, at City, it's kind of like the system that we play, regardless of who comes in. They kind of play the same way as Edison. Obviously, Edison is the better player over Stefan, who's our backup. But even if you look at the women's team, the kids, they all play the same way, like from top to bottom. But yeah, I think Edison, like, he's got an assist this season, crazily, against Spurs.
2, I think.
Yeah, I think he's got 2. Is it 2 this season? I think it's 1 this year, 2 this season, or 2 overall. I can't remember. But yeah, City play out from the back, so it'll normally. There's been goals before that City has scored where it's gone to every single player on the pitch. So it started at like Edison, and it's gone to every single player, and then ended in a goal. Big up Manchester. But yeah, so he's very important to our system, the way we play, the fact that, you know, he'll sometimes come out so that the defenders can go forward a little bit more, like just everything. He is vital to our system, and do you know what? I have to big up Edison because he was criticised heavily before this season. When actually he's one of the best keepers. Like right now, he's actually the best in terms of clean sheets per games that he's played. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'll big up Lily. Sorry, Eleanor. But yeah, I went to read Lily White for some reason. But yeah, like it's one of them things where he's been criticised heavily when we weren't doing so well. So now we're doing well. You know, you have to give him his props. Last season, he didn't have to do much, but when he did have to do stuff, he wasn't always the best. Like they'd have 2 shots on target, 2 goals. This season, if they have 2 shots, he saved either one or both, you know. So yeah, I have to give him his credit this season. He's stepped up another level, which is nice to see. But right now, there's no goalkeeper in the Prem right now, apart from, you could argue, one's lower down the league, but in the like top teams that are like City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever, I think he's the best right now. So yeah,
Okay.
so
Now, Harry, I'm going to ask you a different question, Harry. Looking back at the team, looking back at the situation, we know they have better center backs than us. But from our center backs within our rotation, are any of them better than Stones, Diaz, or Laporte? And would they even get into the rotation? Would David Luiz get into rotation? Probably not. Rob Holding? Probably not. Gabriel? Probably not, right? But in that situation, who would you say any of them get into the Man City's rotation?
Well, I mean, Stones has had a massive resurgence, right? If you asked that question last year, you'd probably put Gabriel, Holding, Luiz all above Stones, but then suddenly he's just got his form back and now he's playing ridiculously well. So yeah, no, probably not. I think Luiz is probably valuable to quite a lot of squads because of his experience and his ability on the ball, but I mean, he probably doesn't get in there. For what it's worth, I don't think Stones is drastically better than Rob Holding. I think Stones is much more comfortable on the ball. I don't think Rob Holding is a bad defender. I think he's good. He's as good as Stones when it comes to defending, but John Stones is wonderful on the ball, so it all looks a lot more tasteful. But yeah, no, I mean, our centre backs, we're good at centre half, but we're not like elite, and I think Gabriel has been decent. I don't think he's been as good as perhaps what everyone makes him out to be. So, yeah, okay. I'll have all their centre halves and their goalkeepers if they're giving them away.
Now moving on quickly. This is ridiculous. are their B team better than our first team? Because they got Nathan Ake on their bench. Remember, we were screaming out for Nathan Ake. We were saying, yo, we need to raid Bournemouth for Nathan Ake. Guys, that was everything on football Twitter was saying, Nathan Ake, he's going to come save our defense, get Nathan Ake in. They got Nathan Ake in. He hasn't played a game since the beginning of the season, since the beginning of this year, I think. Has he?
But
Has he played a game?
He was playing, but he got injured very
a
early.
left back though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's played a game or two as centre back in the beginning when he first came in, and then he was playing left back, then he got injured, then he came back. I think he played one game as left back, then got injured again. So I'd say 90% of his City time he's been injured. So
that's when you guys were in and out of form, right? When he was in the team. Not saying that was his fault, but I think he played at Leicester, didn't he? When you guys got beaten by Leicester at home or away, whenever it was. But yeah, Ake's another one. I totally forgot about him.
I think it
was Otamendi and who was playing? I think it was Otamendi and Laporte in that game. I'm sure it was. Or maybe not even Laporte. Laporte was out. It might have been.
I think as much as
I don't even know who was in that game.
As much as we can look at Gabriel and say, oh, he's not as good as City defenders, I don't think that's totally true. I think you have to look and you have to admire the partnerships, because being a centre back is not just about you being a individual as per se, because you can be such a good centre back, but your partnership just doesn't work, as we see with the likes of Harry Maguire and the likes of Lindelof. Sometimes you need that combination for you to build a solid relationship at the back. So yeah, I think under Pep, you'll probably see a lot of our players are a lot better in the performances. Don't forget, City keep the ball so well that they don't go through the amount of pressure that we go through in games.
Yeah, I rate Gabriel, to be honest. I think he's good. Stones has just been on some next level this season. I don't know what happened to him. I actually thought he was finished, like at City, not finished as a player because he's still a good player. But I thought he won't get back into that City team because I knew we would buy a centre back, and I thought he's probably not good enough for City. And yeah, he has turned it around big time.
Can I ask something? Was at the start of the season, was Laporte? Was he not injured at the start of the season?
I think he had corona.
Yeah. So
and then he came back and then he got injured.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes football is a game of luck as well, because if you look at it this way, everyone would have thought Laporte would have been starting at the start of the season. So if we have a corona,
I thought he was top 5 centre backs in the league. Remember?
We don't know if John Stones would have even been able to showcase that he's able to do what he's able to do. So he could have been the one out the door.
Yeah.
At this point, so football's a bit of luck, and you have to just look at it that way.
Yeah, I thought
interesting. Sorry, I was just going to say it's interesting because Pep has his favourites, like people that he really likes, and John Stones is one of them players that he absolutely loved. So I think there's no way we would have sold John Stones, but I just thought he would fall kind of back into the sort of position and stuff. But you know what? Because it's interesting because people say, why did we buy Ake? I actually think we bought Ake because we were set on getting Koulibaly. And I think what Pep was trying to do is bring Ake in, who's obviously a bit younger, get Koulibaly in for the leadership, the partnership, to strengthen the back four. And then when Koulibaly's on his way out, in 4 or 5 years' time, however long he's got left, Ake would then be ready to just slot in. And I think that's why we bought him. And then we obviously went for a different option, which is Ruben Diaz, who is 23. So now we've got 4 centre-backs that are all decent, which, to be honest, I think if you go in for 4 trophies a season, you need that. You need to rotate. Not, one injury to your centre-back shouldn't cause your whole club to collapse. Like, it just shouldn't. And, I'm happy that City are sort of investing in depth as well. And, we're seeing it with Liverpool this season. And as much as, yes, they don't have as much money as City, that's not because they don't make as much money as City.
They don't want to spend it.
Their owners don't want to spend their money. So I don't feel sorry for them, because if they wanted to, they could spend what City spend and be within their means, but they choose not to. So it's a choice at this point.
Yeah, I thought Ake was a weird signing at the start, just because you had a left-sided centre-back in Laporte.
Yeah.
And obviously, no one ever starts 2 left-footed central defenders. And on John Stones, I remember watching a game last year with Guardiola, and John Stones was playing, and Guardiola was giving him such a torrid time, to the point every time John Stones got the ball, Pep was like telling him what to do, to the point where John Stones looked so nervous, and he just ended up like fluffing so many passes. And then obviously he hardly played at all. And then I think his contract was expiring right next year, maybe.
I think, I don't even know.
Yeah, and then suddenly he starts playing again, and I'm like, he obviously maybe wants to go, or clubs are showing interest, and Pep's like, right, I need to play this kid because otherwise I'm gonna lose him. And now you put him next to Diaz, probably why he played so well under company. You put next to Diaz, and now John Stones is flourishing. But you guys are really lucky to have so many good centre backs.
Guys, I want to just move over to midfield, and I want to give the first shout out to Kesh. Yo, bro, your guy, or is he your guy? Gundogan. Let's talk about him. His resurgence. Like, did you guys think when Kevin De Bruyne got injured that Gundogan could just fill that void when it comes to popping up for goals, getting involved in the final third, getting those goals? He's up there with one of the most goals in the league. How much goals does he have? Does he have double-digit goals in the league already?
9 now, isn't it?
He's got
my God.
He's got 11 in the league, 13 altogether.
That's ridiculous.
That's
This
mad, isn't it?
this guy's getting the same amount of goals that we expect Bruno to get. And you know what? The thing is, his goals have come in bunches. I think he got a hat trick the other day,
I
right?
think it's the quality of those goals as well.
Yeah, he got 2 against Spurs. And he's got 2 in a few games this season, 2 against Liverpool.
Yeah, he's so good at just taking one touch in the box and then finishing it. He makes it look easy to the point where you don't think it's amazing, but so many players would get that first touch would bounce off them, and then they wouldn't finish it or whatever. He's just making it. He's finishing like a prime Paul Scholes at the moment in the box. It's just so simple.
He's
it's
a
really
tidy player, very tidy player, even from his Dortmund days.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked though. I'm a little shocked. I did not expect this.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point when he was playing at City, you thought like, is he good? Like, what is he? Because he was kind of playing holding midfield a little bit, right, when Fernandinho was out, and I don't know, you kind of expected more, but then you just thought, he's obviously a player that Pep knows and he's going to play well in the system. But now he's suddenly just added like the hardest thing to do, which is goals. It's like mad.
Imagine having Gundogan as a squad player. How crazy that is.
These
guys had him as a squad player for 2 seasons. Like, they didn't even start him.
That's the levels, man.
I think that's the thing, though. I think we look at it and we think he's not given enough, but you have to understand they had David Silva, who was basically a first-team player. You have Kevin De Bruyne. So I think it's just his moment has come at the right time where they haven't got a David Silva, they haven't got De Bruyne right now because he's injured, and he's stepping up to the plate.
Do you know what though? Gundogan has always our players in general have always kind of stepped up when people have gone out. It happened in 18-19 when we didn't have De Bruyne. Bernardo stepped up, which he has again this season. Gundogan stepped up, but Gundogan was a little bit different back then because, like you say, because we had David Silva, he was always more defensive. So his job was not to run into the box and score. His job was to make the pass for another player to run into the box and score. And I just think he's been given a little bit of freedom this season, probably with De Bruyne out, and he's just shining. But I've seen glimpses. I think in Champions League, Gundogan's always been our best player or one of our best players in Europe.
Matthew says, okay.
Yeah, I like that. I never heard that before. That's brilliant.
I didn't know that's what they called him until David said it.
Yeah, silky, okay, yeah.
Let's not forget though, City creates so many chances, so many chances, just relentless possession, relentless, like wingers coming inside. They play with only Sterling's really a winger. Bernardo Silva is essentially anything. So there's so many chances, and Gundogan's got the freedom now just to trot in the box and finish it all off. So they're blessed.
And man just comes back just in time to play Arsenal in a SmackDown at the Emirates.
I know.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but Kevin De Bruyne, every single time he plays us, him and Raheem Sterling just have a field day with us. Like, if you can remember, Unai Emery's first game was at the Emirates against Man City. Raheem Sterling
3-0, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right. Then Arteta's first game back from coronavirus, we lost in a dramatic fashion. Right. Unai Emery's last game versus Man City. That was it. Unai Emery? No, it was Lemberg's last game versus Man City. That was the game that They're like, yo, we gotta get Lumberg out. We gotta get Arteta. That next day, you've seen pictures surfacing of our chief negotiator and Vivek. What's his name? Is it Vivek or is it Vinay? Vinay were already at Arteta's house, ready to go to get him to sign the deal. Like they're like, yo, we need this guy ASAP.
Does KDB start tomorrow, or do you think that you're going to rest him for the Champions League still, or just bring him off the bench?
I think
he starts.
The fact
I think he starts,
Pep brought him on against Everton, I think that was to get him match fit for the next game. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see him start. But I feel like him and Gundogan will get like half a game each. So someone will have like 50 minutes and the other one will have the remainder of the game, whether there's extra time or whatever. So about 50 minutes each, I'd say.
Awesome.
I would say. Or 50-40, whatever it is.
Just in time, right? Now, don't forget, guys, they still have a guy named Phil Foden. They still have a guy named Bernardo Silva. They still have Rodri. They have Fernandinho in their squad. They just have options for days. This is the plethora of options that they have. The plethora of riches that they have. Can we ever see Manchester City just declining? Because other teams, they get injuries. They already have people ready to go. And it's not even that they spend ridiculous amount of money on each player. They have a strict budget. They didn't want to overspend for Harry Maguire. They didn't want to overspend for Van Dijk. They didn't want to overspend for Koulibaly. They went and got Diaz because he's 23 for that price. Now they're a very well run club. Are they the best run club in the league, or is it Leicester? Or people were saying Liverpool, or is it Man City?
It's definitely not Liverpool. I'd say in terms of well run, I think City are one of the best, if not the best run. Leicester also very well run. I don't know as much about Leicester as I know about City, but City, they have a 5-year plan. Like they will know who they're having after Pep. They know who they want. They go for that player. Like I know when you watch the Amazon Prime thing, it shows how they go about transfers and stuff like that. Like City are not building a short-term success. They are building a club, and not even just a club, if you're being honest. Like Sheikh Mansour's bought 8 clubs now, 9 clubs. They're building a football business where it is sustainable. Like, put it this way. Sheikh Mansour bought Man City for about 500 and something mil, I think it was, something like that. He sold 12% of Man City for what he paid. So essentially, he got the club for free right now. He hasn't put his own money in since 2016. So City is self-sufficient right now. Yeah, he's not put a penny in. All these people are saying about these sponsorships that he said, like, oh, they got this sponsorship for this amount to put his own money in without putting it in. But even if that was his money that he's putting for a sponsorship, like, he's still making a lot of money from Man City right now. So, yeah, it's madness. And they're just like, the way we're run, this is why I always say to people when they're saying, oh, City are shit, City are going to fall off. I'm like, don't worry about City, because I can see what they're doing. And they're not.
Yeah, but you guys fell off a little bit last year.
Can I just
right?
say this?
I mean,
yes, I would.
You didn't replace company. You guys.
I don't really look at that and see that as a falling off. Yes, it's a mistake, and I'm sure Guardiola was very hurt by his decision.
I know, but we're talking about City right now, like they win the league every year. And
but you have to look at it. They've been the most successful team of this, what's it called, century.
Yeah,
like,
this decade.
So you can't really look at it and say they've fallen off. Like, you have to look at it for what it is and respect what they're doing.
Do you know?
Oh yeah, no, totally. But in the same respect, I mean, last year they finished a decent amount behind Liverpool, and if they were as well as a run club as you guys are saying, they would have just replaced company. You didn't replace company last year.
They didn't expect to have Laporte injured. I think that's what it is. And let's face it, I think Man City could have done a lot better if Pep had trusted to play Eric Garcia more. For me, I think it was more down to Pep's tactical decisions that let him down at times last season.
Do you know what I think it was as well last season? Like, obviously, we went back to back, so the third season always is going to be a little bit of a drop off.
Exactly.
What I would say as well is you're right, Harry. We didn't replace Vincent Kompany. And a lot of City fans were saying we need to replace him. We need to replace him. Basically, what Liverpool have done this season is what City did last season. We were expecting Laporte to be fit. Laporte got injured the third game in, the fourth game in. And after that, our defence, Garcia, he's okay. But he's not good enough for a Man City, like at the moment. Like he's a bit small, he's a little bit he's probably not there yet. I would say. And we were playing Fernandinho in our defence. So we took a lot of the security out of our midfield. We still went and scored a whole heap of goals. Champions League, we should have done better. There's no excuse for that. We should have done better. I think personally the players were kind of more set on the Champions League. And then when they had a chance to go and do well in it, they bottled up a little bit. But I think Pep's formation was a bit confusing, and it just was a shambles. That in the whole planning of that game, the way it went, just wasn't great. And I think, I think a bad season for City right now is one trophy. Like that's a bad season. That's last season. We won the Community Shield, I think, and the Carabao Cup. That's a bad season.
Well, now you guys have definitely found your groove. Like, there's no arguing about that. Definitely. And you're right, actually. Liverpool have done almost the same as what you did last year, which is not replace centre-back and then try to put a centre-mid in centre-back, and then that takes away from the centre-mid. So, no, you're totally right.
Big Steve said something to me. Yesterday. No, he said something on Twitter this morning. He's like, where do you think they're going to put the trophy? Are they going to put it in the middle between everything else? Or are they going to put it on the side? Or are they going to put it on a separate stand next to another trophy case? That's where they're looking at. These guys are collecting so many trophies at this point. They're in the best time of their life. And you know what? I just see it getting better. Somebody said in the comment section, how dare you say they've been dominant for 10 years, for a decade? They haven't won a bloody Champions League. Are we basing them on what been in the Champions League? Or are we basing them on their dominance in the league? They've turned the Premier League into the Bundesliga. They've turned it into a competition where it's only them and like one other person challenging them. And at times, nobody was challenging them. So Manchester City's dominance needs to be praised. And you know what? As a rival fan, I actually look up to Man City now, and I'm like, yo, that's what I want for my club. I don't care about these people saying, oh, we want to win classy. I don't care. If we buy it all, I don't care. At the end of the day, we're winning a league title. And City, as you said, they spent the money at the beginning. They're not spending it now. Now they just have to refresh a couple of players every season. We need to go out and spend 350 million to get our team up to your level. I don't think we're going to do that. That's the problem.
The thing is, what you have to look at it, you have to look at the model, and you have to see that, like, you can win the title and then drop out the top four. What you will never see from City is them winning and then having a total meltdown. They will never go that far. Like they recruit so well.
Their meltdown is fourth.
Their squad depth is so good that they can afford to win the title. Look, they've got Sergio Aguero, one of the greatest players in Premier League history.
Injured.
And he's not playing any games.
Kevin De Bruyne.
He's not even
injured.
Kevin De Bruyne. Even the season that they won it, Kevin De Bruyne was missing for like half a season. So you have to look at this team and you have to compare it to what else is in the league, and they're far from the Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool had a strong 11. We know what Liverpool's strong 11 is, but besides that strong 11, who can they bring off from the bench and you will say they can contribute just as well as the starting 11? They ain't got that.
Yo, I'm gonna say this right now, guys. Manchester City are gonna overtake Chelsea, and they will overtake us in a span of like 6 years if they continue this dominance, and especially if they win a Champions League.
Maybe. I actually agree with the comments in terms of like them. I do think City have been amazing. I don't think they were as amazing as dominating the last decade. I think they can definitely dominate the next couple of seasons. But listen, man, football changes like that, and it goes in cycles as well. And just when you think Liverpool, are going to really, really dominate for years, or you think, I don't know, Chelsea are going to kick on, they don't. You change managers, you spend so much money to make the next step, and players don't. Sometimes players in projects that they get a little bit bored. Bernardo Silva might want to go to Madrid, Barca.
He's not been that great, though, to be honest.
No, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes, players want to move on. So City could definitely dominate, and they have the infrastructure to do it. But hopefully they don't, because that hasn't happened in years. When was the last time a team dominated the league for like 3-4 seasons.
No, but I don't really look at that as dominating. I don't expect the team to go and win 4 titles back to back. What I talk about dominating is, yes, you can go a season where you haven't won the title, but you know the following season you're going to be back up there. That's what I expect from City for the foreseeable future. I don't expect them to go 2-3 seasons without a title.
If they win a Champions League, though, no. Let me ask you guys this: if they win a Champions League and they now have more league titles than Chelsea, what are we saying then? I'm not saying they have more league titles than Chelsea now, but
no, they still would. They've
got the same amount as Chelsea right now.
They still would.
Yeah, we're both on 6. So if we win the league at the end of the,
I still wouldn't say they're bigger than Chelsea because listen, silverware count. You have to count that as a factor. Yeah. But they'll be on their way of trying to push them aside.
Cash, they're they're 5 trophies away from overtaking Chelsea's whole title. All their trophy count.
They're like, you can't disregard Liverpool. Apart from, I mean, what they've done for 3 years is dominating. 2 Champions League finals successively. Second in the league on a ridiculous amount of points, obviously behind City. Then beating City to the league because they had to be faultless. Obviously, this year they fell off a cliff, but they've also dominated, if that's the term. So I think it's and don't rule Arsenal out either. Don't rule that out because I'll tell you what, when Partey comes back, we are gonna climb that table. Just you wait.
You know what I think? I love this game. You know what? Like the past, because obviously the past 10 years, the reason why people say City have been so dominant is literally if we win this season, which it looks like we are gonna, we would have won 5 of the last 10.
Exactly.
So 50% of the last 10 years, City were champions. Exactly. So I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, that is pretty good to be fair. That is pretty good.
Kesh is trying to say City are always in the conversation. Never at the start of a season do you say, City won't win the league. It's one of them where we're favourites and then something will happen and you'll be like, yeah, City ain't going to win it. And then it'll be Leicester or whoever. But we have had a few seasons where we've fallen off a little bit. I think with City, we had a spine. The spine was really strong and we've had to replace the whole spine. And it's taken us a while to get there. But this team now, Man City are going to go for a striker in the summer. If we did get someone like a Haaland, who is 20 years old,
it's done for the league.
If you guys get Messi, if you guys get Messi,
20, 21, 22, 23. I think our oldest player, I think at the moment is obviously Fernandinho. But after Fernandinho, I think it might be De Bruyne.
Yeah,
who is 29, turning 30. So.
No.
But
if you get Harden, there should be a second place trophy. If you get Harden, there should be a trophy for second place. Genuinely,
if they get Messi, they literally increase their fan base by 30%. He will come. He will come with the global fan base.
No, there's a benefit with that, but I'm saying in terms of getting Haaland, he's 20, 21. For the next 10 years, you're gonna win at least 4 Premier Leagues with him up top.
Yeah.
Oh man. What are you talking about? Messi's too old. One second. Somebody just said Messi's too old to come to this league. I don't like Messi personally as a player, but you don't think Messi could do what Mo Salah's doing?
That's people that don't know football,
bro. Is Mo Salah better than Messi?
That's people that don't know football, bro. You're talking about one of the greatest players.
That's Winter Surfer. He knows football. Come on, bro.
Hey, come on, Winter Surfer, man. You're better than that. You're better than that.
Because the thing is, even if Messi lost his pace or dribbling ability, Man City create 100 chances a game. So he'll just be in the penalty box, just scoring. But he will never lose that.
You know what? If Messi was going to a Liverpool, I can understand that statement. He's going to a City who keeps the ball. He doesn't need to do running and defending. They keep the ball.
Yeah. What City must be praised for, and hopefully this gives some faith to Arsenal fans and essentially people who really want Arteta out, is what Pep has done is he hasn't changed football, but he's basically changed the dynamic of how a team can win the league, because we hadn't really seen it maybe since Wenger playing a style of football. But now what Pep's doing it is with essentially 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" midfielders, and which gets rid of all the cliches about being quick and strong and all this stuff. And he's just shown that if he has the right players who are technically superior with the right attitude, that system will work. Now, if they're not technically superior, if they don't have the right attitude, and if one or two cogs are missing, i.e. company, then it won't work. But if everything is right, it works. But it all has to be perfect. And I know that's hard for Arsenal fans to realise, but essentially that is what Arteta is trying to do. And would it work? We don't know. Do we have the money to do it? No. But does it mean that certain players can't improve?
We have got. I hate
We have got the money.
Got the money to do it. We just ain't got the ambition.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and maybe we can't try a play, and if it doesn't work, sign another one, and then sign another one, and sign another one, which is what City do.
The thing is, you can. It all depends on your recruitment. Because listen, we've seen Chelsea sign players, and as soon as they don't work, they say you're off, and they'll recoup their money. It depends on how,
maybe.
If you're buying average players, then of course you're not going to need to sell them back on. But if you're buying absolute class players that you know who can deliver, not necessarily deliver in the Premier League because they can come in and not deliver, but you know other teams will look at them and think, you know what, we'll take a punt on them, and they'll move them on. Bakayoko. I can name numerous other signings Chelsea's made. They sell them on. But if Timo Werner don't work out over the next following season, Chelsea will sell him on and get someone else in.
They haven't sold Bakayoko. They just loaned him out.
No, but they're making their money back. The amount of times they've loaned him out, they're making their money back. And then when they do sell him, they're going to sell him for what, 20, 25 mil?
Yeah, I mean, but City do have a luxury of being able to sign players, and if they don't work out, they can either keep them or sell them. Which obviously, we'll probably have Pepe for 5 years, still trying to get 72 million worth of Pepe, and they'll be like, he's going to come good. He's going to come good. It's like 2028, and it's going to come good.
I think Jan has to go soon. You got a video or something to do, but what's your prediction, Jan, before you go?
I think it'll be tight. I actually think it'll be like 2-1 City. I think we will win, but I think it won't be, we're not going to run away with it or anything mad like that.
If you were to predict how you guys would expose our defense, how do you guys usually score your goals?
Oh God. I don't know at the moment, just kind
would
of
it be all over the top from Ederson?
I think they'll probably, depending on who plays, if De Bruyne plays, a lot of it will go through De Bruyne. If De Bruyne doesn't play, it will either be Bernardo Silva or they'll pass it out on the wings to Foden or Sterling or whatever. I think it'll just be the usual, Sterling making runs in the box, hoping to get, a goal, or it will be through the midfield. Would they play out from the back? Like, there's so many different ways. And what I do rate Pep for is just consistent, because the start of the season, you could see what he was trying to do and it wasn't working. And this happened in 16, 17, and he just persists with it. He doesn't give up. He doesn't think, okay, well, it's not working, I'll stop. He just keeps going. And, this team that he's created, like that team against Everton were all Pep's players, apart from Foden, who you can argue he developed. So this whole, he can't rebuild a team, everything that's been said about Pep, apart from he hasn't won the Champions League, he's literally just proving everyone wrong. So
he's ticking up all those boxes.
It just shows you how quickly football changes as well, doesn't it? Because when you lost to Leicester, like in that clip you said earlier, we're going Liverpool this, Liverpool that, and then just like that, it just changes. So that's why you just got to, I suppose, keep the faith, don't change anything, because the idea is that it's going to work eventually.
The thing is, people was only giving that shade to him because they want him to leave.
They want him to fail. Yeah.
When you look at it, this way, Pep's the best that City can get right now. Who else is going to come in and be better than Pep? So, of course, rival fans are going to say what they want to get rid of Pep, because they're just going to get someone who's up and coming. He might not come in and have the same consistency that Pep can deliver.
Yeah,
but don't you want that as a rival? Don't you want them to fail?
I like Pep. I don't want him to fail. I think we just need to do what we need to do and beat him. Listen, if you're playing in a league where there's no challenge, just winning titles, there's no fun. It's up to Arsenal to put the right people in place and make the right decisions to then go and challenge the likes of Pep.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So you're saying look internal. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just with City, it's just very, and this is why I say with City, it's only going to get better because the team that he's bought now, they're young players. So this is what I was saying, future wise, when we first got money and we first bought players, we were buying older players, experienced players, this, that, and the other. Whereas now, City, they're buying young players to come in and create this team that Pep's created. And I just think, like, whether Pep leaves or not, this team is set up now to do that. So we just need to get another manager in that can do a Pep.
Maybe get into the title race.
Yeah, do you know what? You wouldn't even need
like
another
that.
manager in. Just give your assistant manager the job and just say, carry on doing it. Don't change anything. Just carry on.
There's a rumor that they might be offering Fernandinho. I hope it's true because he's my favourite player. But they might be offering Fernandinho, like a coaching role to be Pep's number 2, like an Arteta. So I'm all for that. So who knows?
Tell me if you guys can hear the sound on this. I just want to play it properly this time. Last time I couldn't play it properly. 1 second. Can you guys actually hear the sound this time? 1 second. Let me start it from the beginning. I'm gonna mute everyone's mic.
So it'd be nice to see us kind of push on and maybe get into the title race and stuff like that. It would be nice to see it, but whether it will happen or not, I don't know. It's on our attackers right now.
I'm gonna say something too. I've been really nice this whole stream, but here it goes. City's not in the title race. City's in the top 4 race. I'm sorry, Jan. It's just the truth. We know City is a good team, but they're not in the title race. They're in the top 4 race today, and until they're first or second, it's safe to say they're in the top 4 race because Liverpool are just that good.
Yeah. I think Liverpool will win it. The only reason why I say that City would be in a race is because 1, 2 results take you up to second for starters. Do you know what I mean? All it takes, Liverpool play Man United. I think it's just after Christmas, or it might be January.
Egal, I think you might have been wrong on that one, bro. I think you got it wrong.
I was extremely wrong on that one. And you know what? I could probably find clips of everybody. I literally just went to the first. I went to the first video that we did. I went to the end of the video and I said to myself, what did Yan say about her chances to win the title? And you know what? She was quite optimistic at the same time, not saying that she couldn't do it, but hoping that she could, and still giving praise to the people who were in first place at the time. Where me, my arrogant self, all over my face. Again,
I bet Arsenal won that weekend as well, right? I bet we'd won, so you're probably feeling quite confident. Yeah, you ain't gonna win anything. We probably won a game. And then,
if you see the
after that, look at that.
If you actually see the actual preview, it was so cringy. Some of the stuff that I was saying, but yeah.
You know what? You weren't even the worst one. Like, I was doing streams with people. I've said all season, like, don't worry about City. That's what I always say to people. Like, don't worry about City. They're fine. Don't worry about our team. Worry about your own team. And all these Liverpool fans were like, nah, can't see City. You know, they're lucky if they get top 4. And like the stuff that Liverpool fans were saying, this is why I have no sympathy. I don't want to hear it. And this is after Van Dijk got injured, by the way. So this isn't like when they thought, oh, it's going to crumble. And they were like, we'll still do it. We'll go back to back. And like I said, I don't think Liverpool would win the league this year because it is very, very hard to retain a Premier League title. And they didn't want to hear it. And it is hard. And, you know, if we win it this season, it will be harder next season. That's the way it works. And that's why you don't get teams winning the Prem every single year. Like Alex Ferguson won it back to back to back twice. But if you think about it, he was there for 28 years and he only did it twice. And I know it's still an incredible achievement, but in 28 years, he only did it twice. So it just shows how hard it is to win. And Man United were always the best team. Do you know what I mean? They were. And it's so hard. And I think, you know, City have done it. Can they do it again? I think under Pep, maybe. But that's only because the players have been there, done that before. Like United had. But yeah, it's very difficult. And I thought they would struggle. I didn't think they would obviously get as many injuries, to be fair. So I didn't think they'd be this far off. But I knew that they wouldn't be at that high level for 3 seasons in a row or 4 seasons in a row. It's too difficult. And City couldn't even do that, you know, with our squad. So, yeah. We'll have to see.
Okay, so Jan, we're gonna go through the predicted teams and everything and a bunch of Arsenal stuff. I'm not sure if you want to stay for all that, but honestly, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And guys, go check out Yan. She does her Yan City stuff. What is it called? Galdem City on Sarcasm City, and you have your own channel also.
Yeah, it's Yan City ENT. So yeah.
There you go. So guys, go check that out. And Yan, that's her name on Twitter. It's Yan City. So go check her out on Twitter. Her Twitter name is actually in the title, so you can easily just search that up. And thank you, Yan, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye.
See you later.
No problem.
Enjoy the game.
Bye. So yeah, guys. Now let's talk about
depressing, man. Just talking about
no. We weren't really talking about getting. At least we weren't just talking about how we're gonna get smoked the whole game, because it's kind of. I kind of have a soft spot for City in the sense that, like, I look at them as a rival, but I don't look at them as big as a rival as Chelsea or Manchester United or even Liverpool or anybody else, right? I think they're more like a distant cousin and less of an actual rival. Don't you guys think about it that way? Because they've had a lot of our players over the time. Think about it. They've had Clichy, they've had Kolo Toure, Adebayo, Nasri. They've just had so many of our players.
Yeah, I see it like that's essentially the team Arteta's trying to make us, essentially. So that's a similarity I take from it, is that we're trying to play that similar style with what we've got, and maybe Arteta can be the man to do it. But let's see.
So I got two things for you guys. First things first, we're gonna do predicted a team. Or do you think a team's gonna be that different from the team that we seen earlier on the sheet?
Do you know what? I thought we were gonna go strong, and then I thought today, I wonder if he changes it. So honestly, I really don't know. Know.
So this team here is Leno, Tierney, Gabriel, De Luiz, Bellerin, Ceballos, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe, Aubameyang. No chance.
No. Yeah, so I think that back six stays, or back seven pretty much stays, like the defense. I think maybe
Tierney will play.
Yeah, I think maybe Cedric comes in for Bellerin. I think that's maybe why he took Cedric off a little bit earlier as well. I've got a feeling he might give Bellerin a rest. I think Xhaka Ceballos. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the front four will be. I've got this weird feeling he's going to start Lacazette, simply because he hasn't played him at all. I've got, and I don't know if because, like Kesh, you said,
you know what I think.
Go on.
I think you'll see. I think you'll find Aubameyang on the left.
Yeah, that's.
I think you'll see Lacazette up top, and I think you might see Pepe on the right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it's going to be. Because we're not going to have the ball for a lot. We've played like City a few times, like in the I think in the Carabao Cup, but we didn't touch the ball. And playing Aubameyang up front on his own is just pointless because you can't get it off him. So I think maybe we need that outlet ball, even though I don't like it. But if you play Lacazette up top, you've got someone to hit and play it off.
So let's start chronicle order. It is going to be Leno or not Runnerson, Matt Ryan. But Runnerson is healthy, just so you guys know. He's back fit. Matt Ryan or Leno?
Leno.
Okay.
Right back, Bellerin.
What are we going? Are we going what we think Arteta's going to play, or what we want to play, or what we think?
The thing is, he might actually rest.
I think he's going to go Cedric because Sterling is fast, and Bellerin has had a few tough games against Sterling. And whilst everyone doesn't rate Bellerin, he hasn't actually been he hasn't been messed up this year a lot by left wingers. But I think Sterling is really tricky, so I think he'll go Cedric. Personally.
Okay, are we going? I think he's changing the whole back four in the sense that he's going to go Cedric. He's going to go. That's the only That's the only thing that's going to be the same. I think he's going to go Rob Holding, and he's going to go either Mari or Gabriel. But I think Mari might get a game. What do you guys think? Because Mari did play.
I think it might be Mari. I think he'll be looking to play the likes of Gabriel and Luiz again in the second leg.
Yeah. Then we're gonna go to the midfield. Midfield. I honestly see Xhaka playing again. I don't see Xhaka getting rested. And you know what? As much as they're saying Thomas Partey is looking good, looking like he might play, don't risk it.
Listen, man, if you rest Xhaka without Partey, we lose. Like, it's as simple as that. You have to play Xhaka and Ceballos. You have to.
Yeah, we cannot afford.
I think he'll keep the lights. I think what you'll see is the likes of Xhaka and Ceballos will start. I think you'll see Partey come off the bench in the giving some minutes to the legs in order for him to start in the second leg.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know how fit Partey is. I know they said he's training again. I don't know what that means though. I mean, do we risk it? Is it worth it? If we're losing at home to City, Do we even bring him
Guys,
on?
give us your full predicted 11s in
No,
the
I
chat
think
right
you bring
now.
him on because he's gonna need the minutes for the second leg. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you can't just
One
throw him
second.
in.
So guys are saying no Bellerin. Everyone's saying no Bellerin. People are saying Shaka should be dropped. He has been awful.
For who though?
Who? Yeah. El
Who goes
Nenny's
up for?
El Nenny is so bad.
We haven't got the luxury of 4-5 good centre mids. We haven't got that.
Yeah, and do you know what? Xhaka was awful last game, but he hasn't been awful. He was awful last game, but he hasn't been awful.
We don't have the luxury of 3 good centermans. What do you mean 4 or 5?
No, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. We haven't got that luxury to even do that.
Yeah, guys, how about this? If you guys want to join in, I've put the link in the chat. You guys can join on in, right? Guys, how does my sound? Does it sound good? Because I'm hearing myself back. It sounds okay, but I can't really tell.
Sounds crystal clear, mate.
Now, moving on from that, this is a conversation where I've been having with myself. I want to rest Smith Rowe.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm thinking play Odegaard, but having Odegaard play next to Pepe, a Willian, no cohesion, never played together. It's gonna really throw off the game having all of them playing together that have never played together. So who are we gonna play around him to have a little bit of cohesion? Because he has played with Lacazette, right? Be it 35 minutes. So if you do play Lacazette up top, Aubameyang was fit and firing, got a hat trick the game before, missed his chances this game. Do you rest him? Do you start him again just to play him into form up top?
I agree with what you're saying about cohesion. I think sometimes we can maybe look too much into that because many players have good debut games when they haven't played with players before. So I think he'd definitely go Odegaard because he's more of a traditional midfielder than an Emil Smith Rowe in that number 10. He essentially is a bit more of a central midfielder when he's on the ball. And then I think I played Pepe because he deserves it.
Good, big up Gooner Express. What are you saying, bro?
Hey, bro.
Yeah, so man.
Chilling, man. Seen you on the terrace today. Big up to you for that, man.
Cheers, man.
What do you call it?
I see Pepe on the right, and I don't know. Does he go Martinelli on the left?
You've got no. You've got to put Pepe on the left. Like we've seen it again with Saka and how he looks better on the right and Pepe looks better on the left. You can't just switch this guy back round to the position where he plays poorly. I just don't see you doing that. I think a big shout for me is Martinelli starting up front because for me this is a dead rubber. We're losing this game either way on possibly drawing it, and even if we do draw. It doesn't really make a difference. He's dead, man. He's dead. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna. We have a go at Aubameyang for missing the chances against Benfica. Lacazette's missing those chances as well. Let's be honest. We know Lacazette's not good. So I know I put Lacazette in the comments just then, but I've just thought of Martinelli. Give him a go. You know what I mean? He's gonna drive at him. He's gonna put him under pressure. Why not?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I
hear that. So this is what we have so far. So who's going to play on the right wing? If we don't have Aubameyang in there and we have Martinelli in there, who's going to play on the right wing?
He's playing Saka. If I'm being honest, I don't think he should. But he said in a press conference recently that he's struggling to rest Saka, which that kind of says to me that he's playing Saka. If he's saying that he struggles to rest him, then
maybe today's the game you rest him.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I look at the likes of say City were us, but like Foden was their main man. Are they going to drop Foden? Obviously they've got the squad depth, but if they didn't have that squad depth, they're not dropping their players. Yeah, you can't drop. This is a massive game, especially for Arteta. Arteta's got this thing with Pep as well, where they're best friends. He's going to want to go there and try and do something. And Saka's going to be the only one.
Yeah, he's not dropping his best player.
Is everybody in agreement? This is a rare occasion where Nicolas Pepe plays on the right. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. Everyone should know that by now. Odegaard's going to play in the 10. Makes sense because Smith Rowe's played so many games. Saka on the right because obviously we do not want to play Pepe on the right or Willian on the right. It makes no sense. And Martinelli up top. Sounds good?
Yeah. We've just got to work out in our heads as fans: is it a massive game or is it a dead rubber? Because I know you can have a bit of both, but if we're telling ourselves
it's a dead rubber, but it's not one of those games where you want to go in there and get slapped.
No, you don't.
You still have to put a team out there to put in a performance.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
then you'd argue to prevent that, maybe you don't want to rotate too much. I don't know. Like
yeah.
playing Pablo Mari, who hasn't played in a long time. Is that wise?
People in the
Like,
chat, give us your front threes.
Probably,
Guys,
probably
I
not
would
wise.
change it. I would
Don't you
change it.
think we were getting a little bit excited about Pablo Mari as well? I know he played well when he came in, but I mean Pablo Mari and Rob Holding is such a slow pairing as well. It's not particularly dynamic, is it?
Yeah,
And
but
I think
you've
we were getting
One
excited
second.
over Mari.
What
personally.
the hell is Ebos talking about? Martinelli's overrated. First of all,
Oh,
who's
get out
Yeah,
of there,
sure, man.
man.
Sure,
wait,
man.
Ebos,
Stop
you're
it,
my
please.
guy. What are you talking about?
Listen,
Overrated?
man said Martinelli's overrated. If Arsenal puts Martinelli up on the market right now,
Oh yeah, his
see
value is still
listen,
50, 40 million, you know what I mean?
you'll
Even though he's been
see the
injured.
teams that are going to come in for Martinelli.
Every
Come on,
single
man.
club in the world would come in for him, right?
Okay,
Every
come on.
club
Okay.
would have him.
We have to have a conversation about this. Okay, right hand side. We only have 3 choices. If we're playing Pepe on the left, and we need to rest Saka, who else can we play on that right hand side? Are you going to play?
You know who I think he's
The
playing.
thing
It's
is, I
going to
would.
be Willian, isn't it? It's
The
going to
thing
be
is,
Willian, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you forgot about him.
I forgot he even
It's
played for
going to be
Arsenal.
Willian,
Man.
isn't it?
I actually
Maybe.
forgot he even
I
played
just
for
see
us.
it. I just see it.
Oh,
I don't
God.
know. Maybe.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay, so we need to have a serious conversation here because what are we going to do? Right wing, you don't play Pepe because Pepe is officially turned out to be a left winger now.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't think he has officially turned out to be a left wing. I think he just had a few good games on the left
Yeah.
wing.
What about
Like,
Reece
Yeah.
What about
like
Reece
you know,
No.
Is he done at
He's
Arsenal?
done, man.
He's been playing for the
Nelson's
under
done.
23.
Bro,
Look, he played
it never
for the under
started. It never
23s the other day,
started.
right? He played for the under
He is
23s
what I
the other
thought
day.
Saka. I thought he is what Saka is what I expected from Reece Nelson.
He was overrated from the beginning, right? He was never a good footballer. Like, he was never the level of Saka. Yes, people gave him the potential of what Saka has now, but he was never that good. You know, he went on loan to Hoffenheim, scored a couple of goals, and everybody was gassing him up.
No,
Let me be honest, right?
I'll disagree.
Still to this day, they're gassing him, bro.
For me, he played for the under 23s the other day against City. We lost 2-0, by the way. He was dreadful. He did nothing. He couldn't even do anything against a bunch of 17-year-olds, bro.
I'll disagree. I wouldn't say that he couldn't have been as good as Saka.
No, I'm not saying he couldn't, but
he was ripping
never
it
the
up.
level.
He was ripping it up. I just feel
He was too overhyped, though.
he's got that's part of the reason as well. But he's one of those guys who you can tell his mentality is not right to get this club because he had the option to go out on loan and he chose to stay.
Exactly.
So players like that, you get through the door and you get rid of. Even the likes of Maitland-Niles, you can tell his attitude is not right at this club because we told him that he should go to Southampton and play as a fullback, which clearly is the club stating your future at this club is at fullback and nothing else. You chose to go to West Brom and play centre mid. Therefore, you defied the club and you're saying, no, I know where best for my future. I'm going to decide where I play. His future's done. Maitland-Niles is gone at the end of the season because he's not playing centre mid. He's just wasted. He's wasted. He's not going to waste 5 months that he could have been playing as a starting fullback.
Kesh is taking the words out of my mouth. Everything is right about Nelson. The overhype is possibly correct, but it's about attitude. You know, Nelson wants to stay at Arsenal because he likes telling everyone that he plays for Arsenal. It's as simple as that. He could have went out on loan to play football. Arteta said to him, "You're not going to play. Go out and get some minutes." But he doesn't. He likes living in London. He likes the lifestyle.
There was clubs in Spain that wanted to take on loan.
Exactly.
He didn't want to go.
And Maitland-Niles is the same. So many young footballers make a mistake of being hung up on playing in their preferred position. You know, preferred position.
Are we talking about Maitland-Niles?
No, because Kesh mentioned Maitland-Niles. Think about it a little both. But my main point is that, you know, same with Joe Willock, like he wants to be a number 10. You know, you're not a number 10. You need to learn to play central midfield, to pick up the ball deep, to play possession, to grow in the game. Why players like Dele Alli, those number 10s who aren't essentially possession players, they're more runners, off the ball finishers. Those players, they come unstuck in some systems. You know, they're almost a luxury player. So Joe Willock, go and learn playing centre mid if you want to play at Arsenal. Of course, you can play number 10, but it won't work at a top club. Maitland-Niles, just accept that centre mid isn't for you at a high level. Maybe West Brom will give you the home to grow in that position, and you might pick it up. But you could play right back for Arsenal. Like, just say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn. Like, just like Bellerin made the sacrifice being a right winger to play right back, you can do the same thing. And just going back to Nelson, the most important thing is for any young player coming through, it's about ball responsibility. When you get the ball, can you keep it? Can you not lose it? Saka showed that from day one. I don't know if you remember Kieran Gibbs when he first came. I think his debut was like Anfield away. You know, this kid was like so raw, looked like a child, but left back. Yeah. So responsible on the ball. I know he didn't have an amazing career, but that's the difference. When you give the ball to Nelson, you don't know if he's going to keep it, you don't know if he's going to lose it, and that's why it don't work for so many of these players. And worst of all, he's not willing to go on loan and play football. What are you doing? You're just staying in London. What?
The funny thing is about Nelson,
going on Instagram, look at me in this and Selfridges and all that sort of stuff. It's like if that's what you want to do, you can just be that guy and you'll just be.
I can't believe
you're the first one to open my eyes to Nelson and the fact that he's more of a tracksuit footballer. He likes the tracksuit. He likes the fact that he's a part of the team. He likes the fact that he's part of Arsenal, and he's just happy to be here. That sometimes that's what it is. You're right.
He's chosen to play for the under 23s with kids, than go on loan to Villarreal. Were in for him. You know, Emery wanted him. Emery promised him playtime. In La Liga for Villarreal, which is a big team, he chose to play for the under 23s of Arsenal than go and play there for half a season.
Man. I was watching a podcast with the
doesn't care about who he just wants to be like like you said. I play for Arsenal. You know, I'm a good footballer. I play for Arsenal. Like that's all he cares about. It's all he cares about. Sorry.
I'm not hating on him as well. I don't want it to seem too personal. But it's frustrating when you see so many young players who have ability, but they're just not willing to make adjustments or necessarily put the work in. And I was listening to a podcast and Benika Phobi was on it the other day, and he said, you know, there's some kids who are 21. Next thing you know, it's 23. They've got no first team appearances, or they're still at their childhood club. It's like, man,
do you see him playing another first game this season for us?
Yes, you are seeing match day 38. That's all I see.
Against you know, our second leg against Burnley or something, when we're more concerned about the Europa League if we're still in it. Yeah, but in a proper game, like where it actually means something, no.
So let's move on, guys. We've been on this for a long time. I'm gonna try to take back control. First things first, I'm gonna look at that left-hand side. You have 3 options. Who are you picking? Go.
Say that again.
You have 3 options. Left wing. For me, you have to pick the best 11. Okay, Cash. You have to pick the best 11.
It's all about Thursday.
Left wing. Who are you taking?
It's all about Thursday, though, Egal. It's all about Thursday.
Forget about Thursday. Samuel, forget about everything else. Forget about the position we are in the league. Forget about everything else. You are the manager. You're picking your best 11 for Arsenal today. Do we know our best 11, guys? Who is
no.
Best 11?
Arteta doesn't know his best 11.
I'll be real with you. If I'm picking my best 11,
who's
and
playing on the left?
3 players on the left. Pepe's not playing on the left. He's not for me because he doesn't have a clue how to play with Tierney. Like he's constantly wanting the ball, and if Tierney's giving you the ball at the halfway line all the time,
the leg out.
He's not getting. We're not going to get the best out of Tierney because we know what Tierney does. He drives forward. So you need to make that run far and beyond the defense, and he'll slip you through. It doesn't work. I've seen it so many times when he's playing with Tierney. It does not work. So for me, it's got to be Aubameyang on the left because I know what Aubameyang's going to do. He's going to drift inside, and Tierney's going to have that space.
Yeah. Are you putting Martinelli up front and Kershaw? Are you putting Lacazette up front?
No. One step at a time. One step at a time, Gooner Express. Don't worry. We're going to get there. Now, Harry, who are you taking for your left wing?
Reece Nelson.
No, seriously.
No, I'm gonna the same. I think I'd go with what Keshi's saying. I'd probably go Aubameyang.
Okay. Express. Aubameyang?
Yeah. Aubameyang, yeah.
Samuel, same?
Martinelli.
Ooh.
Martinelli.
Martinelli.
There's a left shout also. Are you anyone here going Smith Rowe long term?
Not on the left. Not on the left. No.
Okay.
Rest the kid, man. Give him some rest.
Okay. Now moving on. I'm gonna give the next one. I'm gonna give to Gooner Express. Gooner Express. These are your 3 options as striker. You've already chosen Aubameyang to play on the left. Hypothetically, if Aubameyang was taken out of that option and you had to pick between Martinelli and Pepe, and now you have a choice to play Aubameyang in the striker role. From these 3 strikers, who are you playing?
I'm sticking with Aubameyang on the left. Martinelli is going up front. Lacazette's going in the bin for a starter. He's trash. Martinelli up front. pretty much. You know, Lacazette, again, he works well with Tierney. He can whip a decent ball in whenever, you know, he wants to. And Martinelli, he's going to, for me, the way that we score goals is by driving at teams. We don't do it enough. You know, we need to drive at teams, and Martinelli's the one who's going to do that. He's going to push at teams. He's going to make, you know, false mistakes. He's going to be that kind of guy. So he's going up front.
Okay. So he said Martinelli and Aubameyang on the left wing. Does anyone disagree?
I would said Martinelli on left or Lacazette up front. That's
I agree with what
play for you.
Lacazette. You know what? If he was playing Thursday, we win the game. If you take Aubameyang off on Thursday and play Lacazette, we win the game.
Samuel, this is not about Thursday. This is not about
Sam. Come on, man. You're the manager. You should know.
It's like it's best 11. Yeah.
Samuel, get with the program. What I'm talking about here is the best front three for Arsenal. I'm not talking about hypotheticals. Who's going to play next game? Who's going to play the game after that? If you're the manager, who is in your best front three? And you're saying Aubameyang's not in your best front three. What are you talking about?
You have to look at the current situation. Okay, I'll forget the situation. Then if we go best of three, Martinelli on the left, about top. That's my thought.
Okay.
Martinelli about top.
So far, guys, my team, I completely disagree with you guys, but I'm gonna tell you guys my team in a bit. Now, finally, on the right, is it even a debate? Is it even a debate? Look at who he's next to. Is it even a debate?
Exactly. It's Willian all day. Willian all day.
Yeah, it's Willian. Yeah.
This is a game that King Willie shows up and shows everyone what we invested in. This is the day Willian turns on his magic. Remember I said it. No doubt.
King Willie.
Yeah, clip that when Willian. Clip that when Willian does nothing again tomorrow. Clip that.
We've been overpaying Saka too much. I'm being serious.
No, it's just best 11.
I don't know if best 11, but I'm saying for tomorrow I won't play Saka. But
that's fine. But
no. We know
best 11 wise, it's Saka.
Yeah.
Like, Saka's the first one in there. Like Saka's first name on there.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm gonna just change this around a little bit. Best 11. If we're gonna go best 11, center back pairing. Best 11 center back pairing. David Luiz.
Gabriel Luiz. Yep, Gabriel Luiz.
Everyone agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've now constructed our best 11 if everybody's fit. This is our best 11 if everyone. I personally think our best 11, Martinelli's not in it, and Nicolas Pepe's on the left. You guys disagree with me?
Disagree.
Yeah, Pepe hasn't done enough. Yeah, he's done a decent bit recently, but it's his form. For me, it's him and Lacazette have produced more than Martinelli. Martinelli's been injured for 300 days ago.
I understand that. Based on that,
wait till he gets back to proper fitness and he's going to start banging again.
Okay, so you're saying Martinelli starts on that left-hand side?
Over Pepe, yeah.
Okay, so now this is the team we've constructed. We're left back. Left back is Tierney, Gabriel, David Luiz. Is Cedric in over Bellerin, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone.
One second. So if we're starting a Champions League final, actually, let's be realistic. If we're starting an FA Cup final tomorrow, you're playing Cedric over Bellerin right back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm playing Cedric.
Really?
Because I know he can.
No way.
It's not that he's better than Bellerin. He's better at doing the job of an inverted fullback because he can come inside and he's got the technical ability to play those passes and move. You know what I mean? Like Bellerin. If you talk about Bellerin's best abilities,
it's overlapping fullback. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Cam brings up a good point. He says Martinelli's not ready. Let's be real, guys. So
Cam's is right there, man. Martinelli's looks rusty as hell.
I agree, he's not ready, and that's due to the fact that he's been out for so long and he hasn't played. He's not ready. But if I'm talking about my best,
if it's best 11.
I know if he's on form and everything. If he's got a few run of games under his belt, I know what I can get from a Martinelli. I've seen it. I know he can be a threat to the opposition throughout the game.
I mean, Egal, you just said it there. If everybody's fit, you said it. If everybody's fit, Martinelli's better than Pepe. If everybody's fit, if Martinelli's full fitness and Pepe's full fitness, Martinelli eclipses him.
So this is the best 11 if everybody's fit, guys. Can you guys see this? This right here. This
Odegaard. 1 second. Sorry, Odegaard is number 10 ahead of.
Yeah, Odegaard's number 10
over Smith Rowe.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
That's not us saying Smith Rowe isn't good enough to play for the team. He is good enough to play for this team. But we're talking about Odegaard, a senior professional who's been playing. He's got how many games under his belt at a decent level, produce numbers. Yes, Smith Rowe's come in and he's changed the form, and that's no shame that he's had a few bad games over the last few weeks. Like, he's young. Like, I expect him to have bad games. But you know what you're going to get from Odegaard. He's going to bring more consistency throughout a season.
Yeah.
You know what, Cash?
Yeah.
I look at this. Put up the team. Okay, put it back up, Egal.
I'm gonna put it back up
Yes.
in a second. But yeah,
I'm
continue. What
looking
you
at
gonna say?
I'm looking at the team. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 positions that we need to fill as of right now. If the best starting 11, the main issue with us is depth. We've got no depth at all. If you look at William, he's not good enough. People said he's a good depth line. Even as him being on a sub, he's not good enough.
Put the team back up.
I'm putting it up.
Oh, don't! This is going to be painful, man.
No,
Oh,
I just want to
this is going to
listen.
be painful. I can't.
We
My
need
heart
it.
can't take this anymore. My heart can't take this.
Okay, you need.
If you have this, don't watch the City game.
Yeah,
Two midfielders.
that will.
Rob,
put you
who
through
said that
bed.
was? I'm not watching the City game. I'm going for a run, doing anything.
Listen,
Gonna paint my
team,
garden.
that team, you need 2 midfielders, a right back, a centre back, you
and
need a striker.
Yeah,
Striker, yeah.
So you're getting rid of. So you're getting rid
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You're getting rid of Xhaka, right?
Bellerin.
You're getting
But
rid of.
you're talking. Sorry, you're talking to get to a team to like elite levels.
You're getting rid of Odegaard.
Okay, listen.
No.
Okay. Hasimo Wild will be available even cheaper this summer. I believe.
No. He's overhyped, man. He's so overhyped. It's
Exactly.
unbelievable. The guy, look at his numbers this season. He's dead. He's a dead footballer. Look at his numbers in League One. He is dead.
Numbers not everything, bro.
Numbers
Come
aren't
on,
everything.
As a centre, as a box-to-box midfielder who's meant to get assists.
Stop. We're getting off track. Get back to this, okay? First things first. We've opened up 3 spots. I have a hard question to ask you guys. We need another center back, obviously, but do we also need another goalkeeper?
Guys, I've got to bounce. Which I'm actually happy I've got to go because this is getting sad for me now to look at this. Because now I'm just thinking about what we don't have. All right, so
Yeah. See you later.
I'll join you for this one next. I'll probably speak to you guys tomorrow when we beat City 6-0 and Bellerin gets all 6 goals.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, peace out.
See you later, man.
Peace.
All right. Okay. So right back. You don't know who right back is, bro.
Yo,
We need a goalkeeper.
No.
no, because for the if this team was built, like, you're not expecting them to win the title straight away. Like, you will need them to challenge for it and show some consistency. And then you know where the levels are.
So
Then you start refining the team. You start adding more squad depth to challenge the likes of Martinelli, challenge the likes of Saka, because let's face it, if they ain't got someone pushing them, you're not going to get consistency throughout the whole season. So right now, Leno is not a priority to replace.
Okay, so those 4 spots are the priority to replace. Would anyone say an attacking player is also a priority to replace? Like
Striker.
What?
Striker, yeah.
Okay, so where's Aubameyang playing if we're replacing the striker? Are we putting Aubameyang on the wing?
No.
No.
Backup striker, like someone to push
He's in
Aubameyang.
the squad, so you're not going to get rid of him, but you need someone to push it.
Yeah, a younger player who can one day overtake it as well.
So realistically, you're saying we're 5 pieces away from pushing up the table and getting back into where we should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it realistic to expect 5 signings in one summer?
No, not from Arsenal.
If you've got ambition.
Of the quality that we need to improve the squad.
Definitely.
Okay, so what are realistic guys that we could go out and target in these positions? We've spoken about a lot of guys. Are you guys saying a Jack Grealish comes into the team, into an attacking midfield role?
You can't get Grealish and then get 4 more top quality players. This is what I said about Grealish. He would fix our team so much. But if you just want 1 player in, you bring Grealish. But if you need 5 players like we do, you got to have to sacrifice that, and you've got to spend that money, to get good players everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Samuel. We could just spend like 400 million, but we won't.
That's what we need to do, though. We need to spend.
No, I know, yeah.
To get back to
the same team internally, the most thing you can agree on out of any position is the right back. And Max
definitely.
That's the only position we can agree on. Everywhere else, we're in disagreement. I don't think Saliba is ready to play a centre back right now. because you don't see many 18, 19-year-old centre backs come into the Premier League and succeed.
Fofana, he's one.
Fofana, I mean, give me another example except for Fofana. There's not many. There's been a lot.
Fofana was Saliba's teammate.
The thing is, if Fofana is surrounded by good centre backs around him, he's got a good team around him. Saliba doesn't have a good team
And he's
around
got the
him.
experience of Evans. As much as people might think Evans ain't
Oh
good,
yeah, he's a good
Evans is
player.
a very experienced player.
But we've got David Luiz, man. What a beast of a player he is.
Stop it.
I will protect Luiz until the day he leaves, man. Seriously.
Really? Why?
Because he's a good footballer, man. He's done us wrong a few times, but what centre back hasn't? Look how many times Mustafi did us wrong. Look how many times Holding's done us wrong. Like, come on.
I think if Arsenal's serious, they will look at the likes of putting a Lucatelli next to a Thomas Partey, who's good on the ball and he's very aware of his defensive duties. And then you get someone else like, I don't know, Ryan Grabenach from Ajax. Then you look at that midfield and you think that midfield can actually go and win games.
Would you take Barella, Kesh, from Inter?
Oh, 100% I would. I mean, given Interman's situation, he's available, apparently.
Yeah, financial troubles they've got.
Everyone's got financial troubles, but don't forget,
true.
we're a team that does not take advantage of other people's situations.
Yeah.
The last person we took advantage of a situation was Santi Cazorla. Right?
Mm.
So yeah. Okay, so I got another.
I think even what's the name would be a good option. Sanderberg next to a Partey. I think that would be a good option.
I'd take him. Yeah, he's a good player. He'll be cheap as well because they're going to go down.
Guys, I got this new toy. It's called the Tactics Board, online Tactics Board. Now I'm going to show you guys the actual Man City team versus Arsenal team and how they usually set up. Right? This is how they set up. The issue with us is when we have the ball over here, right? Aubameyang or whoever is playing striker is usually out there with the person. They're never really in the box to receive the ball.
Yeah, I understand.
So who else from deep can help out in the attack? Because Saka tends to find himself in the box. You have Odegaard and Smith Rowe don't really get into the box.
I can see the fullbacks just help up when they attack, overlapping fullbacks.
Bellerin's never there for the far post.
That's why he's not good enough, Egal.
Bellerin, you know what? Yeah, it would be the perfect in a Arteta system. But I just don't trust him defensively, and because I know I've only seen him play as a wing back, and that's Hakimi. But I just don't know if he can be strong enough defensively. But in terms of quality players with their final passes and everything, and their ideas when they're on the ball, he fits it to a T because he's not just looking to swing the ball in. He's doing it with a purpose. He's either chopping it back to the edge of the box or he's driving in to the box and he's picking someone out. And I feel that's what lets us down. And a lot of the time, the reason why it lets us down when it comes to Bellerin is because often we get counter-attacked. He's out of possession and he's still in the box and we get counter-attacked, as he saw against Tottenham. And I've seen that on so many occasions. But if his final ball was better, after the time that don't happen and you get a goal.
You know what as well? Even when the pass is right, he used to have his pace to get him out of trouble. But now he doesn't have that as well.
Listen,
yeah.
City, if you guys notice, City don't actually defend with their whole entire team. They press with their entire team, but when they're actually defending, they try to win the ball high up the pitch, and they literally only use their back four by tucking in, helping into the midfield, and their two center backs staying back. So with these guys defending like that, whenever we get the ball over here, they're going to have the numerical advantage because they're going to have Rodri helping out, and they're going to just push everything over. We need to find a way to break these guys down. How are we going to break them down if they're going to be playing a back four with Rodri basically sitting as the defensive midfielder?
You got to commit numbers.
You don't commit enough numbers though.
No, but I'm saying that's the way you beat a City. As much as it sounds silly because you leave yourself open, but that's what I mean. We haven't got the quality.
How many people are going to commit?
We haven't got the
quality. Send the goalie up, Egal.
No. Seriously. We haven't got the quality to commit and actually do it with a purpose where we don't lose the ball and get counter-attacked. But
So say we have
in
Bellerin.
order to open City up, you need to make sure they're defending 1v1, so all their players are picking up someone, rather than us trying to attack with our wingers, and then, as you said, Rodri's going to tuck in, then they're crowding everyone out.
It's gonna almost be, look, when we're attacking, depending on if we send a right back up or not, or if we send a left back up or not, most likely, if we're attacking from the left hand side, it's gonna be 5 against 5, or 5 against 6, because they have the goalkeeper. If we're attacking from the left hand side, it's always gonna be what the hell's that noise?
Oh shit, man! I'm not on mute. I'm not watching something. Someone sent me an Instagram.
Bro, Samuel, you're out. You're out today. You're out. You're out of hand. Okay, the man's literally watching porn or something. Anyways,
He's doing a chick, man.
he's doing a chick, bro. He's doing a chick. Now, I want to know how do we send more people up the pitch, still having the defensive advantage?
It's difficult because, listen, the thing that makes City so good at doing what they do is that their players are so technically good. Like, you don't expect them to lose the ball half the time. They're there probing high, trying to open teams up, but they're that good at it. But with us now, we'll be trying to do it, and you just know that there's going to be an opportunity where someone gives the ball away. That's what always happens. We haven't got the quality to do it against a team like City, in my opinion.
It's super frustrating, but of course, you watch those highlights of when we were good. We used to be able to split people open with one ball, like City do to other teams. It's not only that we don't have anyone to play those balls, we don't have the people to make the off-ball movements to get those balls.
And that's because then, listen, if this was back, like, if you look at the likes of the Nasris and the Rizikis and that, those players can do that. They do that in their sleep. But our problem was that we just never had that. We never had a Rodri, for instance. Yes, he's on the ball, but he knows his defensive roles. Like back then, we had Denilson, guys like that. You know what I mean? Denilson wasn't a bad player. He wasn't the greatest though, but he wasn't defensively aware.
Have you guys noticed our press has been shit lately? Also, you'd have the striker pressing the goalkeeper. Like, is the tactics board still up? No, it's not, right?
No.
1 second. Sahal's here. Sahal, what's Sahal got to say today? Sahal,
can you hear me before?
Yeah, you pissed off today, bro? Or are you happy?
I'm okay, man. I won't be pissed off for no reason. I mean, I've been listening to you guys, and the next game, Man City, we always struggle. Like, it's a write-off, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a write-off. Like, the bigger game is Benfica, and we cannot do the same mistake as Olympiacos. Like, we have to go through. So if we rest our players, I'm not gonna say anything against Arteta. So I want to see Willian. I want to see men like Pepe. I want to see Elneny. I want to see who else is our bench?
Detroit syndrome.
Shaka. I want to see Shaka. I want to see who else is in the team? I want to see Holding. I want to see Chambers. I want to see man that we haven't seen in years. I want to see everyone.
You want to see Danny Welbeck?
I want to see Danny Welbeck. I want to see Tia Walcott. I want to see like Shamak, the greatest striker of Arsenal history. Yeah, do not disrespect Shamak. Yeah, Shamak. I don't understand why there's no statue of Shamak. Oh wait, Lord Bender. Oh my God, you guys are.
Yo, Samuel, Sahal, you're completely out of hand. Today you came on tweeting a bunch of random. Get back to the point. What's your point?
What are you on about?
Get back to.
No, that basically this is right off. So you know what? The bigger game is Benfica, and we need to rest all of our main players for that game.
I love this guy, man. Honestly.
We need that's the truth, though.
He's right. It's a dead ringer.
It's a write-off. If we win, Egal, you don't understand. It's a miracle if we win. Man City got our number. We are Man City side chicks. We are Man City. They can literally call us any time of the day, yeah? Any time of the day, and we will pick up. That's what we are to City. We are Man City side chicks, yeah? They know what number it is. That cup game was just one-off, bro. Come on. I don't even know our record. Our record is so bad. I don't know it. That's how bad the record. That's how you know the record is bad. I can't even remember us beating City a lot.
We've lost the
I
last
always
7
remember-
games against City. I think it is.
Oh my
last
God.
7 games, something like that.
Seriously,
excluding that,
FA Cup in the
Cup,
league, it is. I think in the
two
league,
FA
yeah.
Cup games, excluding those, I don't think we have beaten them since 2015.
Egal, Samuel,
Yeah.
come on then, and stop
The
hiding in the
last time-
background. Come on,
Was it not the last time?
He got kicked off, bro.
come, stop hiding.
Monreal.
You're chatting rubbish, Sahal. Come on.
What you on about? Man City
Not
got a
cool.
number. Is that not real? Is that not?
No,
Yeah.
Stop lying, bro.
of course they've got another because they're a better team than us. Obviously, you expect that.
No. I
If you
said,
feel like
Samuel, you have to repeat what I said. I said Man City got our number like a side chick. You have to repeat that. If
yes,
I'm lying, you have to say, Sahal,
Okay,
you're lying. We've been good against City, which is a lie. We've been
No,
terrible.
but it's just because against Man City. If you go into the final game, you could have easily drew that game if David Luiz never got sent off. If we're off for David
Oh,
Luiz,
come on, man. Seriously.
Bro, guys,
Don't get-
No,
guys,
no,
you were
no,
out
no,
here
no.
doing
Fuck
a
you,
full tactical thing. You guys turned the whole thing into banter. Come on. Okay.
Look,
Yep.
tactical. I tell you the tactics, yeah?
Sahal,
Egal, I tell you the tactics. We're gonna defend.
Stop one second. Cash. If we were to win, what would be the blueprint?
I don't think there is a blueprint. I think you just have to take the chances that you get if you manage to get any, and that's how you kind of disrupt everything because you know once you score a goal, City's going to start probing, and then hopefully when they're probing, then you can sit back and then hit them on the counter attack. The key is to get the first goal. That's it. If City scores the first goal, and I say this every preview I've ever done for a Man City game, I'll say the same thing. You don't want to concede the first goal. If you manage to score the first goal, then you sit back and you play it smart and you soak up the pressure, you hit them on the counter, and I think we can do that. I think we're pretty capable of hitting them on the counter. It's just
apparently,
when we get the goal.
apparently England will host the Euros this year.
That's
Yeah,
probably gonna
we
be bad.
were hosting the semis and the final were at Wembley anyway, so we've just taken the whole thing.
Well, I'm going to the Euros then.
If you're allowed to, yeah.
Yeah.
From one more ago. Like,
You're gonna-
yeah, on that as well. I think you know what? If you look at it, we've got to sit back and do respectable.
I'm gonna
If we pick up.
Submit their questions. We're gonna answer some questions before we're done. And Samuel, continue. What were you saying?
Listen, the way we played in the FA Cup and the way we played in the 1-0 league, I thought it was very different. We sat back too much in the league, while the FA Cup, we're making good passes. A prime example of that is the first goal, I think. We built up from the back with Emi Martinez and
It was 17 passes before the goal.
Yeah.
Most I think we've ever had.
17 passes against Man City, so we've got to beat ourselves. But the thing about it is, you can't cross some mistakes because in the first, we played Mustafi at the back of the game. I still don't know how we won. I'm still thinking about the game now.
Iba says he feels for Pepe because Aubameyang basically done nothing and got his place. That's true.
That's right.
Arteta did do Pepe dirty in the sense.
No, he did.
That's every team that's got a captain though. I mean, they always
Egal.
go back in. They always go back in.
The thing is with Man City as well, we need to. They love to play through the midfield. So that midfield, if we play a normal team, I don't think Arteta will start a strong team. But if we do, we need to win that midfield battle. We need to because we're probably going to be sitting back a lot. But we need at least 5 midfielders at all time. We need all of them being marked. We literally need everyone back. We need everyone to work hard. We need everyone to. That's what I'm saying. So I think that game is going to be really hard for us to get results.
City's defenders, they don't necessarily do what a lot of defenders do, and they don't come too far into the midfield or too far out of place. I feel like they play. Do they play high line still?
No, not really.
No.
Anymore.
Because I haven't noticed that either. So it's like, what is there to expose them besides them playing out the back?
No, but the thing is, you just have to. The thing is, do you remember the 3-0 with Ljungberg? We fell into that bait where they were passing around the back and we tried to press and they played out of our press easily. So we've got to be conservative in the way we play. We can't go all out attack. We have to keep them back and try to catch them on the counter.
Don't press them. Don't press. If I was Arteta, I'd be like, press when they get into the midfield, like halfway line. Do not press before that because they can pass like through you like it's nothing. So there's no point.
No, but you
I
see
would
how
tell.
it's the
He
hard.
needs, Arteta needs to play for a draw.
Cam sent me something. He's like, we lose to City tomorrow. It's one step closer to Arteta getting sacked. Come on, you can't think like that, bro.
It doesn't make a difference.
I just can't even believe that. It's not gonna happen, bro. You're wasting your time.
No, Arteta tomorrow. Arteta needs to play for a draw.
Himself and Arteta out, same way as Gooner Express has. But Gooner Express is at least like you understand.
Gooner Express wants him out, yeah, but he sees what the club.
He's not going. I know he's not going.
They're going to get rid of him. If they're going to get rid of him, they would have got rid of him in December.
They got rid of him a long time ago. Now, Arteta tomorrow needs to play for a draw, in a sense, because a draw is better than a loss. Like, if we're being honest, for me, it's play for a draw. You know, nick a goal if we can. If we go down 1 or 2-0, game's over. You know, play the youngsters and just let it roll out. But,
guys, I know you guys gonna hate me for saying
definitely.
But I'm gonna say it. I would not be surprised if Arteta gets fired if we get another bad run of games. Because one year, let me explain why. No. Let me explain
what he said here, not what you said. Sorry.
The reason why I say this is because we're nearly end of the. We basically, you can say we're almost to the end now of the. Well, it will not be the season, but we're coming close to the point where we can see where the season is going. So before the owners could have said, you know what, just give it time. But now it's a little bit different situation.
I saw where the season was going before the season even started.
I know. Cash, you're not letting me finish, bro.
The point is this, right? They've wanted Arteta for years. Gazidis wanted Arteta for years, and the only reason we didn't get him earlier was because Raul wanted El Neni.
It's not the Cronkies. The Cronkies don't care. Let's not get twisted.
The Cronkies don't care. The Cronkies don't hire the managers. They put in charge is the one that picks the managers, and they just
Edu loves Arteta. Yeah, Vinay loves Arteta. They're not sacking him.
No, Cash. Let me report. Let me debate this here. Look, if we go in another bad run, for the Cronkies to save themselves, they would fire Arteta definitely because Arteta is the one. Unfortunately, whether it's real or not, I'm sorry, guys. Arteta is the manager. Unfortunately, he is.
The Cronkies are the same people that hand selected Arteta with the board and said, you know what, this is the guy we need to go get from Manchester City. He's an up-and-coming manager who we're going to...
They don't believe it, bro. Come on.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that, Egal. The Cronkies were told, just sign Arteta.
You know what? Let HJ90 say his point. What's up, bro?
My point is, hello, how you doing, Egal? You doing all right?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I just want to say, with this Arteta thing, they're not gonna sack him because the way they've peddled the PR out with this manager, they're not gonna sack him straight away. You know, if they wanted to sack him, they would have done it in that earlier run. But that showed to me that they don't want to sack this manager. They want to continue with this process as long as they possibly can because he's a cheap manager. And the thing is, if they sacked him in that run, the fans would demand a world-class manager, which they don't want to do because he would be expensive and he'd demand a lot of transfer budget in the January transfer window. Something this club don't want to do. They don't want to spend money. They don't want to do what's required. That's the problem. Arteta ain't the manager to let a ghost board. That's just my opinion. But the thing is, I think if fans were in the grounds for those games, imagine our fans in the grounds getting thumped to Aston Villa 3-0. What would they say in the crowd? They would say
that's the only reason Emery got sacked. Emery got sacked because we cried about it. We were getting furious about it because we're not there. They don't care. They don't know anything about the fans.
You know that Frankfurt game, the last game he got sacked. Half the stadium was empty. That's one of the reasons he got sacked because fans would not come to the ground, and that was losing Kroenke money. The exact same reason Wenger was sacked because grounds were empty and the money was dropping. We were out of Champions League football. That's why he got the sack. If Wenger got sacked, in my opinion, he didn't resign. He got sacked. They were just trying to save his rep. And just on the City game quickly as well. It's just with the City one, you know, I go into the mentality thinking let's do what we can to try and win this game.
Whoa. Arteta speaks of a lot of investment to reboot the club.
That's from Zed, isn't it? That counts.
Yeah. Do you not believe what Zed says? It happened about 11 minutes ago. Let me get this up on the screen.
I saw
that.
This
is mad. What's this about?
I think
you guys keep talking.
Yeah, it's about the fact that we need that Champions League football because we're running a Champions League wage bill on a Europa League budget, and now if we don't get Europe for next season, how are the club going to spend the money? Because yes, the wages are going off the books, but remember we've paid all these players off. We haven't got rid of. We've paid these players to go away. We paid Özil to go. Paid Mustafi to go. We paid Kolasinac to go. We paid all these guys to go.
People are still forgetting. Kolasinac is still here for another year.
Still here. That's the point. If
he's
Schalke
still
go
here.
down, he's still here.
No, not if they don't get relegated.
They're Egal. They're done. They're done. They're done. They just lost 4-0 today. They got thumped.
I still think they will sign him though.
No, they will, but they got thumped 4-0 today by
Haaland
was on fire again.
If they go down, they're not going to keep him.
No, I think they will keep him.
They will.
The way the director what they're talking.
He might if Kolasinac takes a
further. They basically said he is the battery of the club. Like he knows the club in and out. Like for us in the future, moving forward, like we need him on the club. So I think they'll sign him. I've read that they're looking to sign him for about 7 mil. So you take it.
What about Mustafi? Is he a permanent deal? Because
he's gone. He's not a player anymore.
He's gone. I know he's gone.
6 months.
We terminated his contract. But is it a 6-month deal for them?
He's staying there. There's two things, right? If they get relegated, he will go to a team still in the Bundesliga but aren't that good, like a Freiburg or like an Augsburg, or he'll go down with them. It's either way. But he's staying he's staying in Germany. Like
I don't think he'll go down to Bundesliga.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
He earns a lot of money for that.
Liverpool would have been better off getting Mustafi.
Yeah, definitely.
That Kabak, Jesus man, he's ropey. He's a ropey footballer.
I just want to go on quickly. So, do you know what the police are thinking 24/7? I mean, we've got to Stan Kroenke's phone number to know that they're going to sack Arteta.
No, look, Samuel. Yeah, look,
he got troops to ask him, bro. He got troops to ask him.
I'm not. Look, the Kroenkes here. I'm not saying they will, or they. I'm saying it's a real possibility that you guys don't see. You guys don't see it now. But I think if we go on another bad run, they're lucky. There's no fans. If there was no fans, 100% we would have fired already.
Wait, can
I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You guys will believe. I think if we go on another bad run, there is no way we can actually support him. They can't. Like what?
They will. They supported failure for how many years?
Guys, you do realize, only if the fans put pressure. Only if the fans put pressure on Kroenke, then he will be sacked. If the fans keep, sticking with him or saying it's going to take time, it's all a process. If this keeps going on, the fans, if the fans keeps backing him through the bad runs, they won't sack him because the pressure isn't on them. When the pressure gets put on them, then they will pull the trigger. As happened with.
Can I say? Bro, that's what they keep saying, bro.
Kroenke did not sack the manager for the Rams that managed them for 4 years with the worst record in the whole league. Yeah.
But that's different though, isn't it?
It's not. How they care more about the Rams than they do Arsenal. If they're not sacking him there, then they ain't sacking Arteta.
18 games. Listen to this. 18 games. See, 18 weeks, right? 7 games, 17 game season. They lose 12 games. They still kept him.
But that's the losing in the NFL. I know you're gonna say is not as big deal because losing.
It is.
By the draft.
The Super Bowl. Sahal, the Super Bowl is everything. That is the Champions League to us. Like that's the money. That's where it comes from.
It's not
12 losses in a 17-game season is bad.
Let me explain something to Sahal. They take the NFL so serious. They are breaking NFL regulations in their team to make sure that they keep their pay level at the top of the league. And on top of that, they're paying the most money. They're going way over the luxury tax. They're getting punished by losing draft picks every year. This is the second year running. They're going to lose draft picks. Okay, they've lost their number one pick 2 times in a row now.
They're not sacking them.
At the end of the day, right? Like looking at what this Twitter account said, right? At the end of the day, if he doesn't get us in the Champions League, and I can tell you now, he's not going to do it. And you can look at if this is true, what he said. Look at what he said in the first 2 sentences of that tweet. He said that we won't be getting that investment in the summer.
It's an
unless
excuse.
What he should be saying there is we're not going to get that investment unless we get in the Champions League. He hasn't said unless we get in the Champions League. He knows we're not winning the Europa League. He knows for a matter of fact that we aren't winning the Europa League, and all we're doing right now is trying to drag it out as long as we can to have some sort of hope. He knows that we're finished. We're going to go against a United or a Tottenham or a Milan, get slapped,
Who says
and
we're
that's going
getting
to
past
be it.
Benfica? What's the
But
guarantees
exactly.
of us getting past Benfica?
This is what I'm saying, right?
What are
At the end of the day,
guarantees we're gonna
right,
go to Athens to
we're
beat?
done. We're going in the Conference League in a few years, and we're going to be screwed as a football club unless we can get rid of the. We need an owner who's going to come in and say, you know what, I don't care where we are right now. I'm putting that money in.
Kesh, you know why it hurt me so much after we drew against
It's
Benfica?
worrying.
Because it actually, the reality hit that this is the situation we're in, and we're not progressing at all.
It is, yeah.
I don't understand what everyone expects. What do you expect? Right, we've got a average team, and we expect to be finishing in Champions League positions. Like, how does that logic work?
We have a squad to finish top 4 this season.
We have a good 11. We don't have a good squad.
Did you just say we have a squad to finish top 4?
No, we have a decent first 11.
But not a squad. You need
HJ, did you just say we have a squad to finish top 4?
We have a squad to finish top 4. I think if
No,
Wenger
we
or Emery was there, we'll finish top 4. Wait, can you hear me out? Can you hear me out?
Let him
Can you
finish.
hear me out? Hear me out.
Yeah, let him land.
Wenger or Emery with that squad get top 4, and hear me out on this as well. Ancelotti or Allegri gets challenging for a title this season with that squad. I'm not pissing about.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Emery finished 5th with a better squad. So you think he'll finish
No,
top 4?
Emery did not have a
that
better
squad was worse.
Can
That
I-
squad was worse.
Stop right there. Emery did not have a better squad. He had what's his name? Lichtsteiner. He had
No, but the players
Iwobi.
performed better.
He had
In
so many of these rubbish players.
Wait. Hold on. Apart from Partey, who's barely been fit this season, are you trying to tell me Emery didn't have a better squad?
No. Arteta has a better squad, but Arteta's not doing
no,
well
man,
with
Give
the
it a
squad.
rest. Give it a rest, bro.
Okay. Let me ask you this. All right. Tierney full form this season because under Emery he was injured half the time. We have Gabriel at the back. Okay. Right back. That situation is just a murder with Bellerin over there.
Got Pablo
Partey-
Mari as well. Throw Mari in there, he barely played.
Emery
Mari as
had,
well.
Emery had
Mari's
a
been good.
consistent
All right.
Monreal.
All right. And then you got Saka. Saka under Emery was just getting into his groove. We have a very good Saka now. Up front, Aubameyang at the peak of his career. Lacazette on form. This Arteta squad is better than the one Emery had.
Yeah, on form Lacazette Aubameyang and Lacazette is a world apart, and he doesn't have them. They're on the decline. He had them at the peak, and we still couldn't get top 4.
Yo, man said Monreal like he was Messi. Like,
Man said, no, but I'm just trying to tell you that. I rate him very highly.
I'm sorry, this squad is better than the one Emery had.
let Kesh go, and then you're finished.
Everything that Tierney's offering right now, yes, his ceiling's way higher than Monreal, but Monreal offered that to me. That Monreal was a player that was very consistent. That's why he stayed in the team for a very long time.
Under Emery.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, we know. And Monreal is just as good as the centre back as the likes of
I'm gonna still stick by my guns. I'm gonna say this Arteta squad is better than the one Emery had. We're sitting 10th with this squad with Partey, Gabriel, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Saka.
Partey's been injured. Partey's been injured for the whole season.
The one thing that no one's mentioning, yeah, everybody's saying, "Oh, but we're 10th. Oh, we should have a better squad." This and that. What the one thing that I'm seeing nobody mention, right? And I'm not saying that none of you guys haven't or thought of it, but no one's mentioned this on Twitter or anything. And it's that we will lose these players if we don't finish at least in the Europa League. If we're a Conference League squad, we will lose the Champions League players. We will lose Saka, we will lose Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Aubameyang will go. All of them will leave, and we'll turn into the next Southampton. Yeah, because these players, I'm sorry, I don't care how loyal they are, how much they owe to this club. If they're Champions League quality and they're not even playing in the Europa League, they're gone. Like, that's it. Saka is getting snapped up by any team right now, yeah? Martinelli's getting snapped up. They're all good. They all have places to go. So why would they stay here? Why would they bother doing that? Like, what benefit do they have?
That's what I said.
And the issue is as well.
This is why the Europa League is so big.
Well,
this is why the Europa League is so big this season.
Everybody sits here and says, "Oh yeah, but we can get 130 million for Saka." Yeah, we can't. No, but everybody says we can get 100 million and this and that for Saka. We can. As a Conference League team, no, we can't.
No,
we can't demand. We
can.
Not as much as we can't get as much as they're worth.
Yo, Gooner, let me ask you this.
No, but
Okay.
not. I'm on
No,
about
Aston
all of
Villa-
them. Like we can't get
Aston
the
Villa
max
aren't in
value.
Europe yet. They
every
still want
player.
100 million for Grealish.
Yeah, because they're going to be in Europe.
No,
Like,
they're
let's
not going
be
to be
Nah,
in
that
Europe.
doesn't
In
work
Europe
like
next
that,
season.
bro.
It doesn't work like that.
They,
It
no,
doesn't
no,
work
no,
like
no,
that.
no, stress.
Look,
You're not
look,
stressed.
no, I'm not. No,
No,
I'm
last
saying.
season-
I'm not
last
saying.
season-
I'm not saying. Like, I'm not saying Saka. I'm saying that as an example. Like, we're not going to get the max value for players like Aubameyang. We're not going to get the max
You're not
value.
going to
No,
get no
Aubameyang
money.
is
You're not
old,
going to
that's
get
why.
money for Aubameyang anyway.
No, but
Yeah,
the point
he's
still
old.
stands here. These men are going to go. So this is the
Yeah,
issue,
they can
right?
go, but you're still
This
going
is
to
why
get
the
the
Europa
money.
League's so
Maybe
important.
I don't
No,
think
that's
European
the-
League
that's
is that
the honest
important.
way, though.
No, but Kesh,
This manager is
Kesh,
going to throw the Europa
the worrying thing is, right? We get
Mm.
this money, yeah. We get this 100 mil for Saka. Our board ain't going to reinvest it. They're going to take it and put it straight back in the Rams. So that money will just vanish. So this is what I'm saying. We're going to lose these players, get this money.
That's
it's
the
going to
fans'
vanish.
fault. No,
It's going to
no,
vanish to
100
nowhere,
million,
and then we're
if
going to
100
be
million
done.
comes in for Saka, the fans have to put the pressure on the board. This is where the fans
No,
are involved. Just
we
as a
shouldn't have
whole.
to sell Saka. We should be in the Champions League every
Well,
season, man. We shouldn't
But
have
we're
to
not.
sell our
But
best
we're not,
players.
because this
I
club
know.
isn't acting like a big club anymore.
But this is the thing,
No,
right? This is the thing.
is
We
that
shouldn't have
wouldn't
to sell
Egal,
Saka.
your question
That's it.
there, that wouldn't happen immediately. You're talking at 2 years where you're consistently not in Europa League where that would happen. Do I expect
can't
Arsenal
compete if
to
you're not in
never?
Europe.
Do I expect Arsenal to never finish in Europa League again? No, that's not going to happen.
I'm not
Like,
saying that, but in the next 5 years, it's a definite reality that we're finishing Conference League every season. You know, 8th, 10th.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
You do realise we might not even get into the
Arsenal's good
Conference
enough to go and spend a bit of money and finish in the Europa League. That's not
Yo,
true.
guys, you do realise Conference League is like 6th or 7th, so we might not even get into that.
I don't want to be into that anyway.
I don't either.
I want to be in it. It's a chance for a
For what?
trophy. It's a chance for a trophy.
Oh, come
that
on,
we
man.
can
We're
win.
talking about a chance for a trophy that's been
It's a chance for a
just
trophy.
been made. That's just been made, bro. Come
It's
on,
still
man.
a trophy.
You know,
Community Shield,
the
bro.
band we would get if we start parading that trophy.
Listen, it's as good
team-
as
I'm not saying parade it. I never said parade it, but it's a European trophy.
It's
Whatever
as
you want to
good
call
as
it,
it's not a European trophy. No, it's not a European trophy.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's the same as the Nations League. If England would have won the Nations League,
Yeah.
would you have
Yeah.
celebrated it the same way you would have
No.
celebrated the Euros or the World Cup?
No. It's like a Community Shield, bro. Come on, man.
It's
Yo,
you know what it is. It's the Carabao Cup. It's the
Everyone
Carabao
stop.
Cup.
Stop 1 second.
The Carabao Cup.
HJ90. First things first.
Yep.
I want to. Where do you stand with Arteta? Are you Arteta in? Are you Arteta out?
Out.
Came out of that. What are you?
Out.
Out. When did you turn Arteta out?
After we got thumped to Aston Villa 3-0.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
So the 3-0, the first game.
When we lost to Aston Villa 3-0 earlier in the season.
Yes. Okay. Understood. Now we have a mixed bag now. 3 people who are Arteta in, 3 people are Arteta out. What can you see more likely to happen? Arteta gets sacked at the back end of the season when we don't make any of these competitions and we finish 10th and we lose every tournament, or we're in the same position. We don't finish the Europa League. We don't win any tournaments, and we finish in 10th. And the board still keep Arteta, and they give him some level of investment that is not adequate enough to get us back to the top. But we're going to be in the same situation next year. Or the third one, do you see there's a possibility he could actually make improvements with the lack of investment because he can identify players that he would like?
Is this up to me or is this realistically?
Realistically, and what would you decide?
Okay, for me, I would sack him right now. I would bring in someone to save our season because that is needed. Because look at the Europa League. Hear me out. With the teams in the Europa League, you got Spurs, United, Leicester, Roma, Milan. So many big teams in there. A top-class manager will come in there and possibly get us winning that Europa League or get us up into a Europa League position.
Sorry, or somebody
it would be Allegri. Right now, Allegri. I would have gone for Tuchel.
Being real, would you think Allegri would come right now?
Yeah,
No.
he would come.
He actually offered to come.
He lives in
actually
London.
sent a dossier to Arsenal.
Man lives in
You
London.
believe
He's
that?
learning English.
I believe that. I believe
I
that.
don't believe that.
And yeah,
There was a dossier.
He turned us down before. So what made you decide that he's funny for?
Because he
I'll
realized.
change my mind. I'll send a dossier in.
No, he had his representatives reach out to us while we were going through our tough run to sack Arteta and bring him.
yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
don't believe that.
But
I don't believe that.
Egal, I want to say this. Yeah, look, what I don't think the board are going to give him the money because we're not. Let's say realistically,
So what
we're
makes you
not
think
going
the
to win.
board's going to give Allegri the money?
Realistically, we're not going to win the
He's
Europa
saying
League.
Allegri's a better manager. He'll get more out of the players. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I'm saying for the rest of the season. But looking into the summer, looking at the bigger picture, yeah. Okay, what's the guarantee that this board will give the investment needed to get us challenging with the likes of Chelsea, Man City, United financially? I don't see this board doing it.
Alright, so the solution is to bring Allegri in. Allegri will get better out of this team. But I still don't believe Allegri is going to get you that much better that you're going to break into a top 4. It's not going to happen.
No. He might get us win a Europa League because that's our only hope. Okay,
Let
me ask you this.
Let
me ask you this. Who do you think has a better chance of winning the Europa League with this squad, Allegri or Arteta? Hand to your heart.
Still not going to win it. Regardless.
Who do you think will give us a better chance?
Let Cash answer. 1 second.
Allegri will probably give you a better chance. He probably would.
There you go. There's your answer.
Probably. So if he
There's your
doesn't, then what happens after that then?
Okay, what happens after that? Then you give him the money. Then you have to back him.
That's not going to happen.
The fans
not going to happen,
the
mate.
fans have to put the pressure on the board.
So why
to
do the
back
fans?
your money.
But that's what I'm saying. This is what I mean. Fans are flip flops because why are we saying?
Yeah,
why do we not apply? Why did we not apply? Why did we not apply the pressure in the summer? Why did everyone accept that Partey and Gabriel was enough to get top 4?
I never said that. You know, you're not Cash. You know, I gave the summer transfer window a 5 out of 10 because it wasn't good enough.
I give it a low rating as well.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying we're saying.
Yeah, I get you.
Why did we not apply the pressure in the summer?
Because I'll tell you why. Cash, I'll tell you why. I got an answer for this. Because our fans were too busy jizzing over the process and over Arteta. That's exactly why.
It wasn't. Let me explain why we bought Thomas Partey on the last day of the window, right? Awar was our main target, and we were told halfway through the transfer window that we're not getting him. Yeah, we were never going to get Awar because his agent was demanding way too many agent fees, and Leon were they were reluctant to getting rid of him anyway. We could have got Partey.
That's why we missed out on Kante because
we could have got Partey. We could have got Partey at any stage from around halfway through that transfer window to the end of it. Why did we get him on the last day? A lot of fans seem to think,
2 years ago.
It was because, we got him on the last day because we were still looking at Awar and other people. No, we weren't. We got him on the last day so the fans would jizz over it. Instead of saying, if we got Partey halfway through the transfer window and then bought nobody else, the fans would say it isn't enough. Yeah? If we get Partey on the last day, everybody's talking on the last day about Thomas Partey. That's it. So we can't stand up then and say, we didn't have enough. We needed more.
Wait, can I add to that?
That's all it was.
Also, if Partey had
it was just smart from the ball.
If Partey had a full preseason, he would not have been injured this many times.
Definitely not.
And that is on our board, right? That is on everyone above.
Yeah.
How can that be on the manager?
I bought a business.
The manager has to demand. The manager right now is a puppet. The manager is a puppet to the board.
Man, come on, man. That is
Egal, can I answer the question? Can I answer the question?
No, let me go first. Wait, hold on.
Guys. There was a question here. We're not moving on from the question until everyone gets a chance to answer it. Now, Gooner Express. From those 3 scenarios that I gave you, which one would you take?
Realistic one, and I know you said this about me before. I know what's going to happen. We're keeping him no matter what happens. We could literally finish 17th. We're still keeping the guy. End of story. We're not going to back him. We're going to give him 50 million, 60 million probably. He'll bring in 1 or 2 players, and we'll probably finish 8th again. But then we still won't have and then it'll just be this recurring cycle of we don't have an answer for our problems. If it's up to me, first off, I'm binning off all the board. They're all getting gone. The owners can get stuffed as well. Yeah, I'm bringing in Carlo Ancelotti from last season. I'm going back 6 months and bringing in Carlo Ancelotti, and I'm giving him the money that he needs. But as I said, that's never going to happen in a million years at Arsenal Football Club until we get new owners who are willing to spend money. So the realistic option right now and the only answer is Arteta stays. He doesn't get the money, and we're a mid-table team until we can find a solution.
And I've said that fans don't realize.
And by then, all our big players will be gone.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's just we're just declining.
Can I ask?
We're saying all our big players gone.
I'm here.
We've lost bigger players than what we've got now. How many years? Losing Aubameyang is not as big as losing Van Persie.
Oh, 100%.
losing
100%.
Partey is not as big as losing Fabregas. Like we've lost big players.
Look at Ashley Cole. Look at Ashley Cole. Losing Tierney is not
Times
losing
are
Ashley
different.
Cole. Like
One second, guys. One second, guys. So, you want to say something?
Now, basically, your question, I honestly, Cash, and I'm guys, and I'm not joking. We need to find a compromise because these owners are not leaving.
Why
So my compromise
we are
is
Arsenal
simple.
Football Club. Why compromise?
No, we need to compromise.
Why compromise
Sorry,
on
we're
our
not
standards?
Arsenal.
Why are we
Arsenal or
compromising on our
Kroenke.
standards?
Kroenke and Arsenal are the same. Guys, let me finish, yeah? Because you guys
Kroenke
always
FC.
interrupt. Unfortunately, yeah, we need to live in
Excuses.
lives of reality. The Kroenkes literally, figuratively own Arsenal. We cannot demand anything of them, yeah? We need to.
Yes, we
We
can.
need to come
Put
to
the
a. No, we
pressure on,
can't.
you'll get
Sorry,
it.
we can't. We can't. I'm sorry. We tried
Yes,
it.
you
Ain't
can.
happening.
Put the pressure
This
on them.
model
As a fan,
doesn't work.
we have so
need to
many
go
fans
to
on Twitter
something.
sitting
Let me
there.
finish.
No.
I don't think that
Yeah,
works.
let's
We
allow
need to
land.
go to
Let
another
him land.
model.
Let him land.
Simple. Let me finish. I'll let you finish. And
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
Go ahead.
we do working. So we need to go to another model. We need to do a normal model where we buy young players, sell them, get some money in because that's what they do. We're only allowed to spend the money that we make. The problem in Arsenal is we don't make money in the first place. So the solution is we buy young players, we sell
make
them,
money.
and we invest in the squad.
Yeah, you sound like a robot, Zahal.
Refresh the stream.
What I would say is,
Cash, sorry to interrupt. Can I just answer you? If you were, say, a big company and like head position, you're getting millions of pounds per year, would you be a puppet and get millions of pounds per year? Or would you not?
Yeah, 6 million a year, yes, please.
Exactly.
To be a puppet, if I supported Arsenal, I would not be a puppet. I would demand from the board.
Yeah, but
if I was
Arteta is an Everton legend, bro. He doesn't support Arsenal. He's an Everton legend.
Yeah, that's why he's a puppet, because he's an Everton legend, not an Arsenal legend. Ask Everton fans, he's not. They wouldn't say he's his legend either.
Of course he's a legend. They would say he's a legend. They would.
Yeah.
I've spoken to a few Everton fans, and they said that they don't even think of him as a legend.
Well, I've spoken to someone, they say he is. I don't understand. Yeah.
Regarding the whole statement about
okay, wait, can I wait? Gooner said something about we don't make money.
Yeah,
make one of the most money commercially in the world.
Yo, AC, I don't think you understand.
No, we don't make money on transfers. That's the thing.
Guys.
We make money.
I'm gonna mute everybody. Guys, come on, let the guys speak.
Yo, AC,
Go ahead.
I don't think you actually understand how a company works. Regardless if we buy merchandise or not, they're making billions and billions of dollars. Regardless if we're going to the stadium or not, and that's all he cares. So you can't just simply tweet out, "Oh, Kroenke out." He's still making bank, regardless if you're buying his stuff or not. He's still making bank. So really, whatever you say about Kroenke, it really doesn't matter. Even if he sees it, he's not gonna be like, "Oh, that HJ90 guy. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Like, we need to buy more players. Like, maybe he's not gonna care because at the end of the day, he's still making billions of dollars."
But the club ain't. That's what I'm trying to say. The club ain't making billions.
No, so the club still is making money. Like the loss,
but not in a level that we need.
But the loss
but they're still making money.
The loss that they're losing, they're making doesn't affect them because if they sold Arsenal, they're not making money off it anyway. They're still making money. The only thing I would say is, and I've said it before, and it hurts me to say it. The only time I can see them selling is a few years looking like Newcastle.
Yep.
That's the only time they'll sell because what will happen is the asset then isn't that attractive anymore for them. When it comes to going to the banks and like that, he's probably gonna have to pay more interest on money and things like that on loans. So you will get tired of it. That's the only way I can see him selling.
But Cash, that won't happen though. Our value of the club will stay. The only way the value of the club will go down is we get relegated. That's it. Sorry.
Let me just read this. Winter Surfer says, I've been doing some late night painting in my spare room. Instead of music, I've had you guys on. Thank you. Big up to him, And then
big up, man.
Guys,
sorry, can I just finish my point, Egal?
Yeah.
Basically, the value of our club, unfortunately, it's gonna stay relatively the same for our lifetime, and that's the truth. Unless we get relegated, for our lifetime, it's gonna be worth around about 4 to 3 billion, and it ain't gonna change until next lifetime. if we keep going bad, then it will change. Unless we get relegated.
No, but
then
I'm not. I know that.
The will half.
I know that. But the price won't off. The price won't off either way. But I'm saying
now, if we get relegated, it will
get to a point where you get tired and you're just gonna be looking for the best offer that you can get. That's what will happen.
Yeah,
but that will take a lifetime to get there.
When the Saudis came in for Mike Ashley, how many times have Mike Ashley been trying to sell, but it's not the right offer? But you can tell that he's tired and he just wants to get it over and done with. It's just that the Premier League blocked the move. Mike Ashley would have sold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's Arsenal will go through a good few years of being disappointed because, as I said, that this league is a very difficult league as it is now, with so many teams challenging and so many teams who are willing to put their money in. Their owners are willing to put their money in. The only way to keep up is to spend. I don't believe in the self-sustainability because, yes, we're saying Leicester's doing great, but is Leicester ever going to push the likes of City? I don't see it happening.
You know what, as well, Kesh, even if we win the league, you know what's going to happen the following year? We're going to fall off the heart.
Because you have to keep.
We'll do a Liverpool. They'll just be straight back down.
You have to.
Look, I see a lot of people saying we need to follow what Bayern Munich do, and I'll tell you now, right? Bayern Munich, if they were in the Premier League, they couldn't do what they do. What Bayern Munich do as a football club is they buy their rivals' best players because they own the Bundesliga. They weaken the rival teams in the process of building their own team, like we've seen them do it. Yeah, they buy these players and stick them on the bench and never use them. You can't ever do that in the Premier League because these teams aren't going to bend over like that. Like, you know, I'm a Gladbach, but I like following Gladbach. Yeah, we bend over backwards to sell our players to Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Like, it's sad. So you ain't going to see Leicester just bend over a Man City and say, "Oh yeah, you can have our best player for 10 million quid." It ain't going to happen.
You want to know the funny thing is, one second.
Like
you guys talking a lot about the Kroenkes today. A lot of you guys are talking about the Kroenkes because they're the owners and they've been bad owners. But you know what? When you actually look at their businesses abroad, the reason why they're considered bad owners to us is because their businesses abroad, they don't need to do anything. The NBA, there's a salary cap. You have a set budget where you can spend. You can't really go over the luxury tax too much. You're not going to have to spend too much money. When it comes to the NFL, there's a luxury tax. You can spend more money and it can cost you picks. But at the end of the day, if you're ambitious enough, you're still not spending near the money. Same thing with the MLS. So what I'm saying is, this is what they're used to. You're not going to ask. You're not going to tell old dog a new trick.
Save that excuse.
Egal, completely disagree.
Every business is run different. Whether they've got a certain way of running sports franchises in America, you've got to look at the one that you've got abroad, and you've got to realize that it's not the same. So I'm not having that excuse that they're running it.
Okay, let me ask you about the Arteta excuse. One second. People say I give a lot of excuses for Arteta. Are these valid or invalid reasons? One, Aubameyang misfiring the whole season because he has personal reasons with his family and his mother's situation.
Yeah,
that's a valid excuse why Aubameyang's misfiring. Thomas Partey, later, Samuel. Happy belated birthday to you, bro. Everyone in the chat, say happy birthday to Samuel, guys.
Happy birthday. Don't sing it. It's copyright. I forgot.
No, don't sing happy birthday, but just say happy birthday to my guy.
See you tomorrow, yeah?
Big up to you, bro.
See you later, Samuel.
See you tomorrow. So next, another thing people don't factor in, COVID. And the actual fact that COVID is equal for everyone. I get that. But Arsenal has had to spend damn near 28 to 29 different players this season have played for Arsenal, where you look at a team like Aston Villa have played 18 to 20 players, right? You look at a team like Chelsea, who has a big squad with a lot of depth. They've played less players than us. So in this situation, when we're talking about a lot of guys being injured constantly, COVID happening, where we're constantly having to pick different players, our main signing our main player in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang misfiring, also not having our main defenders for either being banned, COVID reasons. In addition to that, one of our biggest signings this summer in Thomas Partey being gone, Kieran Tierney having fitness issues, just constantly having to change the back line as much as we've had to do. You can understand why we're currently in a situation that we're in. Now, in no way am I accepting this. This is not me saying I'm accepting it. I'm just understanding that there's been emanating circumstances that have gotten us to this point where people are completely overlooking that right there.
But Egal, I watched the football terrace. Yeah, why every time you come on the football terrace and you talk about Liverpool, why can Liverpool not say the same thing then? Half the defense is gone. Where's the
No, but look,
then the excuses of them are valid then. Now the excuses of other teams are valid. Now Aston Villa had COVID. They had the worst COVID outbreak. You can see how many games in hand they got. Okay, that's a valid. Everyone in the entire league literally have excuses. Okay, Arsenal, we had a lot.
But you're not
Can I say something real quick?
You're not discrediting anything I said by saying everybody has excuses. You're basically saying your excuses are maybe just the same as much as everyone else's. You're not discrediting anything that I said. Everything that I said is factually.
Can I make a point real quick?
Yeah, go on.
I think one of the biggest points we're missing out that we're looking at all the negatives, but Arteta has done a lot of positive, even though we're in whatever place we are in. I think the biggest thing for me is that we have. I don't agree with your last point, Egal, where we've been having to rotate so many players. A lot of those players that have rotated in, especially in the defense, have done their job. I mean, just look at the performance. We have seen how many pairs of center backs coming in, and we have cut clean sheets, and this is our best offensive record we had in a while. So Arteta has done a great job in having our players in the bench even being able to come on and do a good job, except for you have your Willian who hasn't clicked for a moment, because even Pepe, who was doing 0 to nothing last year, he's been doing something this year coming off from the bench, regardless if you want to believe it or not, he has. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you when you see City play, City doesn't have one team. Whenever you have City always comes in with a bench, and if they bring in whoever's in either it's Kyle Walker, Cancelo, or Gundogan, Phil Foden, whoever comes off from the bench is ready to go. And that's something I've seen from Arteta has brought to Arsenal. It's not at 100%, but it's something that I can see that's being worked on. You get what I'm saying?
You're basically saying we might not have the squad depth, but you see that people are being more prepared to come off the bench or come into a game and affect it.
Yes, exactly. And the games we have,
there's direct equivalent. There's basically direct replacements for each position more likely than before. Because before it used to be, if we miss a player, we're effed. Now we kind of have more options, even though those options are not as good.
Yeah, and if we did rotate players, if we did lose a game, it wasn't because that one player or we played terrible. I mean, you do have a few games there, but for example, Wolves, Aston Villa, we didn't deserve to lose those games. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like, Arsenal played terrible. You get what I'm saying? Whereas before we were like, shit, we're not doing nothing. Like, what are we doing underneath Arteta? So I would give that positivity to Arteta. That's just something I wanted to say.
Yeah, guys, honestly, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. It's been great. There's so many guys who popped in and out. Jan started off Man City fan. Honestly, there's no need to do a prediction for the game. But if I was to do a prediction, I would say let's get lucky and go for a high scoring draw. 2-2. Yeah. What do you guys say? What do you guys saying? Cash? 2-1 City?
I'll go for 2-1 City.
Sahal?
I'm gonna try and do City. I'm gonna try and jinx them. And before I go,
your internet's playing against you, bro.
I said 5 minutes. Can you hear me?
Bro, your internet is playing against you. I don't think I want to hear it. I'm sorry. Your internet is playing against you, and I think I heard you say 5-0 City. So put it in the chat.
Oh Lord.
Oh no.
Oh man. And then Zubair, thanks for coming on. What are you saying? What's your prediction?
I would say 1-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if we were the team that ended the win. Not that I'm feeling confident, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's just something that would happen. It's a crazy injury. But it's not that I'm saying I'm confident, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did take something out of it.
I have a good one, man.
All right.
And then there's 3. Gooner Express, have a good one, man. What's your prediction?
I think a lot of people are saying that we could nick a win, nick a draw, this and that, and any other day we could, but we're forgetting this City's a different giant. Like they've won 17 games in a row now. Yeah, like they're immense.
Yeah.
I said it in my match preview. It's 3-1 City for me.
3-1 City. All right, man. Have a good one, man. And then yo, Kesh, it's just us. I'm gonna wrap it up here. You have yourself a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Post-match reaction, if anything, on the terrace and everything. I'm gonna do the match. I'm gonna do the watch along. It's gonna be a tough one. If you want, you can come on.
Yeah, I'll be on.
You come on for the watch along?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Kesh for the watch along. I don't have to twiddle my thumbs while City score 5 goals. Anyways, we're out of here, people. See you guys at 3:30. The game starts at 4. The lineups comes out at 3:30. We'll talk to you guys then. Have a good one, everyone. We're out of here. Peace.
Wait.